From historic Doyle Field in Leominster, we say a very good evening, everyone, and welcome to Rivalry Family Media Baseball on a Wednesday night. Alongside Bill Thomas and Kate Robbins, Todd Robbins for RFM, saying a very good evening to one and all, as tonight, here at historic Doyle Field, it is senior night, and the Leominster High School Blue Devils come in riding a 10-game winning streak. Their last loss came on Saturday, May the 8th, in a game we had for you right here on RFM. That's the last time Leominster lost. 10 straight victories, including a win yesterday by a 12-4 score in a game that ended up being right here at historic Doyle Field. The Shepherd Hills Field is under renovation and was underwater. Could not host the game yesterday, so they shifted the game here yesterday, and Leominster picked up their 10th straight victory by a 12-4 margin. Meanwhile, tonight, Leominster plays host to the St. Paul Diocesan Knights, formerly known as Holy Name and St. Peter Marian down in Worcester. Those two community schools now having merged into one school for Catholic religious education, a high school there in Worcester, now known under the new flag of the St. Paul Diocesan Knights in Worcester. St. Paul comes in with a record this evening that, you know what, Coach Ed Riley would tell you he wishes was a little bit better. But he commented on Twitter earlier this week. He thinks something finally clicked, and yesterday's results certainly proved it. St. Paul's Knights coming in off of a 13-0 victory over a strong Neshoba squad at Neshoba yesterday. That's the backdrop for this one this evening. I welcome in Bill Thomas. Billy, there you go. We've set the scene of what we've got coming here. We'll join the senior night festivities in a moment, but first, your thoughts. Leominster, a 10-game winning streak. St. Paul's up and down. Last time these two teams met, it was a 7-1 Leominster victory early on this year. Since then, though, the St. Paul team has gotten that much better.
Yeah, they've gotten that much better, but I think Leominster's continued to build their season too. You know, a 10-game winning streak, but Neshoba was their last loss, and you know, you talk about the Knights coming off a victory against Neshoba, their most recent victory, and starting to turn things around. And their college prospect, kids heading to college, loaded lineup is going to be a joy to watch tonight.
No question about that. Third member of the broadcast team, Kate Robbins. Kate, great to have you along with us as well as we get set for this action tonight. We have seen with this Leominster team a program that is obviously this year, it is senior laden. They will acknowledge 8 seniors tonight for their success and completing their career this evening. And beating a team 7-1 earlier this year, Coach Ed Riley called it embarrassing at the time, a victory that he felt like Leominster certainly earned. They beat the pants off of the Knights is how he looked at it. But now, all these weeks later, as we saw on Twitter, he said something finally clicked.
And that's an interesting thing when you're seeing a coach knowing how dangerous his team can be. And so if you are Leominster, that's certainly going to perk you up. Interesting situation for Coach Barnaby to be in tonight, knowing that they've been on a roll here in Leominster going into senior night. If you're Coach Barnaby, number one, you want them playing their best baseball because you have playoffs starting next week, and you don't want them to take these nights for granted. They need to make sure that they take everything about it seriously. And a lot of times, senior night festivity, you have a high number of seniors, 8 seniors. I know we'll be talking about them quite a bit tonight. We would have them in the screen, but they're not on either of our cameras right now as the senior festivities are going on. So you would literally just be looking at an empty field. So we apologize for that at the moment. But it's an interesting situation to be put in. So this probably means a lot to these seniors, and hoping that the underclassmen are going to step up and make tonight a special night for them.
Indeed, they certainly hope to. Leominster comes in with an 11-1 overall record on the verge of the postseason. They've already wrapped up the Mid-Wach A title for 2021, and now they look toward this brand new Central Massachusetts Athletic Directors Association tournament that's coming up next week. We'll have more on that as the broadcast continues. Meanwhile, St. Paul 8-4 overall. We mentioned the 8 seniors Leominster acknowledging tonight. Let's run down those 8 seniors. Ryan Fava, Tyler Smith, Sean Dutton, Eamon Durkin, Ryan Harris, who will get the start tonight, Nick DeMarco, Ryan Bolak, and Evan McCarthy. Those are the 8 seniors Leominster is acknowledging out on the field, Bill Thomas.
And not only acknowledging on the field, but I wish we had a shot of this, Todd, but they have the players' numbers stenciled in front of their dugout, large letters. We might as well call them life-size letters, and the players are lining up next to their numbers. A great tribute. They've really gone all out tonight for senior night.
Yeah, no question about that. Indeed,
the field looks amazing.
Absolutely
amazing.
remarkable this year. It really has
Outline,
looked
who's
fantastic.
ever in charge of putting down the lines and doing the graphics, they've done a fantastic job all season, but especially tonight. Kudos to them too.
I'll throw a few kudos to Coach Ed Voles, who I know is involved. Saw him out there literally combing the bump earlier. He was out at the mound, literally combing the dirt to get that into the right spot and make it ready for play. And then also Pat LaPointe here in Leominster as well. I feel like Pat literally hand cuts and coaches this field.
And I wish we could see, but I can see some faint lettering behind second base and center field. I'm not sure what that says, but I'm sure it's another tribute out there to the seniors and the team in general tonight.
Yeah, it looks like class of 2021.
Probably.
So 2021
something's
out
there in the outfield grass cell center field.
For the seniors
Fantastic.
this evening as well. As public address announcer Dick Tucker continues the introductions of the seniors out on the field, we continue here on Rivalry Family Media. Great to have you along with us. St. Paul and Leominster coming up 7 o'clock, the scheduled first pitch here at Doyle Field. We're always prepared for something to start maybe a little bit before that, and that's why we joined you a little bit earlier here than the top of the hour as we normally would here on Rivalry Family Media. Great to have you with us as we mentioned this evening. Let's talk about this pitching matchup. One of the things that Coach Rich Barnaby of Leominster had told me was there was a real distinct possibility that you might see a battle of the two best pitchers in Central Massachusetts. And arguably, you could sit there and debate which ones those might be. But certainly, for St. Paul, you will see a marquee pitcher tonight. They'll start Luke DeLongchamp on the bump tonight for St. Paul, trying to throw their best at Leominster as they try to avenge that 7-1 loss earlier this year. Leominster will go with Ryan Harris.
Well, that's all you're going to tell us about Luke? Or you're going to fill us in as the game goes on? Because there is a lot to talk about this young fella.
Indeed.
We'll save some, but just some tidbits. He has a great future. We'll fill you in as the game goes along.
Division I recruit, Boston College bound.
Now you've let it all out.
And Coach Ed Riley says, Bill Thomas, he will be drafted in July.
Exactly. I mean, this kid has the choices of a lifetime in front of him, and I'm sure he will take best advantage of situations he's going to be put in.
And we certainly look forward to getting to see him throw tonight. And meanwhile, Bill Thomas, the other side of that, of course, Evan McCarthy, Leominster's stud, their top pitcher. He's going to sit back in relief tonight. He'll play first base,
and
he'll
be on the field,
hitting his usual 3-hole.
We saw him crank a homer last time that we covered Leominster. We know what his bat can bring to the lineup, too. He's not just a pitcher.
Leominster instead has decided to start Ryan Harris, the senior, this evening, and Coach Rich Barnaby expects a large dose of his senior class out on the field.
And you
tonight.
better keep your roster handy because I expect there's going to be a lot of substitutions, maybe some free substitutions, some at-bats, just to keep things rolling and get everybody that last opportunity.
I think we're about to be in a picture.
That's okay.
I'm going to put my sunglasses back on.
Indeed, we very well might be as the seniors come to the backstop with their families in tow here for a photograph acknowledging their senior night for the class of 2021. Big week for seniors, by the way. You've got senior awards night this week. You've got graduation coming up later on in the week as well.
Over on the other
Doyle
side
Field.
of the park, it's set up for a
ready
great
to go.
outdoor graduation.
Resplendent for an
Is that
outdoor
what you would
graduation.
call it?
Well, I would say
I like the
resplendent
technical
for the outdoor graduation, Bill Thomas. All I wish for this class of 2021
Sunshine.
is sunshine.
Yes.
Because for the class of 2003, when Kate and I crossed the stage, it was beautiful. We entered Doyle Field, pomp and circumstance playing. 5 minutes into the welcome, it rained like no
for
doubt
the rest
about
of
the rest of the graduation.
And then on the way to the
curve.
car,
It was
out.
It was better than,
what a
was it
story.
the year before or 2 years before it poured and they had to go inside? So I was excited just to be outside.
Sometimes
Wish
it happens.
for
If I could also
sunshine.
add one more
Yes.
touch for senior night tonight. We saw him come through with a fantastic cake with graphics and the frosting of the seniors. And on the backside of the backstop here, they have nice posters of each senior with their names, great half-body pictures of them. And the only thing, unfortunately, they just took a nice on-field picture. They couldn't have those posters as part of the picture behind them, but just a great tribute tonight
They'll
all
get to
around
keep
for the
them, though.
seniors.
Indeed,
Oh, yeah,
they will.
And it's good for the fans walking by. Everybody's stopping and looking at them.
It's Blue Devils and Knights. The 11-1 Leominster, the 8-4 St. Paul Knights. Introductions in the starting lineup right now for public address announcer Dick Tucker here at Doyle Field. First pitch coming up here on RFM.
First baseman, number 11, Ben Cushing. Playing second base, batting seventh, number 2, Joey Bazillo. Catching, number 10. And batting 8th, Jake LeFrancois. In right field, batting 9th, number 19, Colin Johnson. St. Paul record is 8-4. Head coach is Ed Riley. Here's the starting lineup for your Leominster Blue Devils, leading off the catcher, number 2, Tyler Smith. Batting second, playing center field, number 3, Sean Dutton. Batting third, the first baseman, number 23, Evan McCarthy. Batting fourth, third baseman, number 8, Nick Garcia. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, number 16, Brandon Arsenal. Second baseman, batting sixth, number 12, Tony Salvatelli. Batting seventh, the right fielder, number 6, Eamon Durkin. Batting eighth, left fielder, number 1, Ryan Farva. Shortstop, batting ninth, number 9, Nick Massa. Pitching, not hitting, number 10, Ryan Harris. Blue Devil record, 11-1. Head coach, Rich Barnaby. Assistant coaches, Ed Bowles and Chris Kay. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask you to face center field and a big, beautiful U.S. flag as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Please show good sportsmanship and good luck to both teams.
And with that, we're ready for action here at historic Doyle Field. Time for St. Paul and Leominster baseball. Time to set the lineups for these two teams for the top of the first inning. St. Paul's batting order will look like this. Cody Smith will play center field and lead off. Max LeFrancois plays third base, bats second. Joey Rubin, the shortstop, bats third. The pitcher, Luke DeLongchamp, will bat cleanup. Deegan Miller, the left fielder, bats in the 5-hole. Ben Cushy plays first base, bats sixth. Joey Bazidlo, the second baseman, will bat seventh. Jake LeFrancois, the catcher, will bat eighth. And Colin Johnson, the right fielder, will bat ninth. Meanwhile, we set the defensive alignment for the Blue Devils. Across the outfield, left to right, it's Ryan Fava, Sean Dutton, and Eamon Durkin. Left to right across the infield, they're going third to first. It's Nick Garcia, Nick Massa, Tony Salvatelli, and Evan McCarthy. Assumption College bound Evan McCarthy at first. Tyler Smith does the catching for Leominster. He's on his way to Nichols College. And Ryan Harris gets the start on the mound tonight for Leominster. Bill Thomas, we've seen this Blue Devils squad, and one of the things that we know very, very clear about them defensively, they do a very good job of keeping their opposition off the board, and they're going to need to tonight. When you look at the line score from St. Paul's 13-0 victory over Neshoba yesterday, they scored 7 runs in the top of the first.
First, they started off on fire and never looked back either, you know, and you're right, it's going to be about defense tonight because, you know, the Knights are going to put the ball in play. If it's hit at you or in your vicinity, you can't give them 4 or even 5 outs an inning. You got to make those plays. But you know what, Todd and Kate? It's the routine plays that you don't make that usually come back to haunt you. That's what the Blue Devils have to take care of tonight. Take care of the routine stuff. The other stuff will come. But take care of the routine. Once again, don't give a team like the Knights 4 or 5 outs an inning.
Kate, when you get the opportunity to come into a game like this, and of course it's senior night, the emotions are riding high, it's senior week. This is that time in spring sports where for a coach, it's a very nerve-wracking time. Maintaining focus can be difficult.
Well, especially if you have a senior-laden team. Most lay people would say, oh, this is exciting, a senior-laden team, we're going to be fantastic. In the spring season, that's not always the case, because when you get to the month of June, all bets are off with your upperclassmen. It can get a little bit dicey, and so focus is a big one. Momentum is another one. Carrying the Big Mo through the month of June to get deep into the playoffs, not as easy as it sounds.
Cody Smith steps in for the Knights. Ryan Harris with the delivery. First pitch thrown at 6:56. We're underway 4 minutes early here at historic Doyle Field.
And why wouldn't we be?
Why wouldn't we
Something
be?
we've gotten
indeed?
used to. That's why we show up at 4 o'clock.
That's right.
For a 7 o'clock game.
First pitch was a ball.
Oh.
The 1-0 pitch called strike and evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Harris, the right-hander, throws with the full windup. And right here on Rivalry Family Media, remember, it's a radio broadcast with pictures. The 1-1 pitch, a soft breaking ball popped up by Smith, heads towards shallow right center. Walking on over to it is Durkin. He'll settle underneath it and make the catch for out number 1.
Third baseman number 8, Max LaFrancois.
What have you seen from Ryan Harris in the early going here, Bill Thomas?
Well, he sees around the plate, which is what you got to do. You know, don't be hesitant to throw strikes. It's because this is a college-bound offense, and you know they're a pretty free-swinging team. They know they can score runs. They put the ball in play, but don't become a nibbler because of that. Walks will get you in just as much trouble.
To the plate comes LaFrancois. Max LaFrancois, the third baseman. And the count even at 1 ball and 1 strike quickly here. We saw Harris in the first baseball game we had here on Rivalry Family Media earlier this year against the Neshoba as the 1-1 pitch catches the outside corner for a called strike. As we remember, Harris moves quickly. He threw 3 2/3 in that game, scattered 2 hits, 5 strikeouts in the ball game as well.
Yeah, he's around the plate, gets some swing and misses.
The 1-2 pitch, down and away.
2-pitch pitcher for the most part, mixes that curve in with a good fastball. Likes to spot that fastball. I think that's probably his favorite pitch.
Board showing 2 balls and a strike. We've got him for 2 balls, 2 strikes. Harris to LaFrancois.
I've got him for 2-1.
All right, here comes the 2-1 offering then. Ball off the outside corner. 3 balls and a strike.
We're gonna get you an indicator.
I'll tell you,
A clicker.
I had it for 2 strikes earlier on.
The ump's got him 3-1 as
All
well.
right, 3-1 it is then.
You
The
lose.
fingers don't lie.
I've been there before. Here comes the 3-1 pitch.
Caught the corner right
Called
there.
strike 2 on the outside corner and runs the count full.
I know you umped, and I'm sure you're in this position.
Yes.
When the home plate umpire asks the guy in the field, what do you got for a count? You always answer back, well, what do you got? And then you agree.
We aim to get it right, Bill Thomas. The payoff pitch.
Yeah, there's
Cut
a
on
swing
and
and a
miss. 2 up and 2 down quickly here for Harris in the top of the first against the Knights. That brings the shortstop, Joey Rubin, to the plate. Rubin's heading to Rollins College in the fall, looking to play baseball.
I think we can make that kind of comment, not that college, but every player that's coming up here is headed somewhere.
Coach Ed Riley has done a phenomenal job with this program, of course, bringing 2 schools together. First pitch from Harris.
And if the name Ed Riley sounds familiar, Major League baseball player for a number of years.
Yes.
I don't know his stats. Just came to light to me when I
Pitcher.
heard his name during introductions, but pitcher for a number of years in the major leagues, and he's bringing that talent to the coaching level.
Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Down and away. It misses. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And I like Harris nibbling on that outside corner. I thought that the last strike call was a little bit generous on the outside. Nibbling in there. If you're going to give me that, let me see what else I can get on that outside corner. I like the thought.
Agreed. Here comes the 1-1. At the knees for a called strike.
Spot that nicely. You know, if you're going to nibble and you're going to give something, you know, you can give the corners a little better than high and low, because the only person that knows it wasn't a strike is the batter and the catcher. But from the sidelines, it kind of looks the same, so you don't get much of an argument from the benches.
The 1-2 pitch. Bouncing ball back up the middle, out of the reach of the shortstop Massa and into center field on the ground. Base hit for Rubin.
Number 27, the pitcher, Luke DeLongchamp.
And that brings Luke DeLongchamp to the plate. Going to Boston College as a pitcher, but he's in the lineup to hit for himself in the cleanup spot, Bill Thomas, which tells me he can swing the bat as well.
Oh, yeah, and we saw Evan McCarthy swing the bat, too. And usually an athlete's an athlete for the most part, and college-bound athletes are very versatile, and it doesn't surprise me he's in the heart of their lineup as a batter tonight.
To the stretch goes Harris. First pitch down, it misses. And it's a ball to DeLongchamp. Comes the 1-0 pitch, popped up by DeLongchamp over toward the first base line, and it will carry out here into the seating gallery, out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike goes the count to DeLongchamp.
Not a lot of foul territory here in Doyle, especially once you get down the lines. Narrows up rather dramatically down towards left and right field foul poles.
For those of you joining us on Rivalry Family Media, hang with us, experiencing some technical difficulties on the stream. As Harris will check on over to first, McCarthy catches and makes sure that Rubin makes it back. 1-1 the count to DeLongchamp. Rubin over at first. Harris comes set. The 1-1 pitch. Off with the pitch was Rubin. This one gets away from Smith. And in safely with the stolen bases, Rubin at second.
High pitch right there. I think Smith took his eyes up. He tried to pop up there and catch and throw all at once. Good jump there, though. I don't think it would have made a difference the outcome of that stolen base attempt.
And that's always the balance, Bill Thomas. What do you do in those circumstances? Catcher takes their eye off. They want to try to help their pitcher out and get the steal at second, but you got to catch the ball first.
Yeah, and you know, with 2 outs, he would have liked nothing better than to throw him out. Very anxious about trying to make that play, but you know, with 2 outs right here, that ball player out there is not all that important. Big picture, let's get the guy at the plate is what the pitcher and the catcher got to be thinking right now.
DeLongchamp cuts and misses 2-all the count, and he'll ask for a second. He'll step back out of the box. Two-two the count. Harris comes set. Rubin at second. Harris will check Rubin. The 2-2 breaking ball popped up left center field, heading back toward the fence. It is gone! A 2-run home run. Luke DeLongchamp puts the Knights on the board with a 2-run homer.
That was a pop-up and then some. Didn't look like it was going to carry from our perspective off the bat, but that ball just got up there and it never looked back. Left center field, cleared the fence.
Oh my!
High fence out there too, I might add. Cleared the high section.
2-out, 2-run home run for DeLongchamp. And I agree with you, Bill Thomas. It was kind of a soft breaking ball that was coming in. He supplied all the power, and it just seemed to keep right on carrying.
Time that up, and left fielder got to the fence and watched it sail over his head.
Speaking of left fielders, that brings Deegan Miller, the left fielder, to the plate. Looks at the called strike 1. And now Harris comes set again. Leominster in a hole, 2-0. We mentioned it off the top. The Knights, 7 runs in the first inning against Neshoba yesterday. The 0-1 pitch misses high, and the count levels at 1 ball, 1 strike.
You know, and I'd bet dimes to dollars that Luke DeLongchamp was in the middle of that first inning uprising, too.
Can't doubt that indeed, Bill Thomas. Here comes the 1-1 pitch from Harris. Waved at that one. Little indecisive was Miller. Couldn't hold up on it. 1 ball, 2 strikes goes the count. Harris settles. Like to get out of the inning. Catcher Smith asks for time to reset things.
Looked like he lost his balance there a little bit. He had it waving his arm around, but got time out.
Good job controlling the space as well. Give his pitcher a chance to reset. And the 1-2 pitch misses off the corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
A little too much break right there. Good 1-2 pitch, though. That was a pitcher's pitch, trying to get him to go fishing.
Indeed it was. The 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3 on the outside corner.
and gentlemen, to avoid
And
injury,
that's the way things will end here in the first. Harris gets 2 outs quickly right off the top, but a fly out of Smith and then a swinging K from Relay Francois. Joey Rubin gets things started with a single up the middle, and then Luke DeLongchamp comes up and clears the bases with a 2-out, 2-run homer to give the Knights 2 runs in the first and a 2-0 lead through a half inning here at Doyle Field. It's St. Paul 2 and Leominster nothing. More to come. We'll set the lineups in a moment here on RFM. To the bottom of the first we go here at historic Doyle Field. Here's the batting order for the Blue Devils as they come up trailing 2-0 here in the bottom of the first. The catcher, Tyler Smith, will bat leadoff. The center fielder, Sean Dutton, will bat second. Evan McCarthy plays first base and bats third, and he certainly has home run power. Nick Garcia bats cleanup and plays third. Brandon Arsenal, the designated hitter, will bat fifth. The second baseman's Tony Savatelli, he bats sixth. Eamon Durkin patrols right field and bats seventh. Ryan Fava, the left fielder, will bat eighth, and Nick Massa, the shortstop, will bat ninth. Meanwhile, the defensive alignment for St. Paul, left to right across the outfield, it's Deegan Miller, Cody Smith, and Colin Johnson. Left to right across the infield, going third to first, it's Max Lefrancois, Joey Rubin, Joey Bazidlo, and Ben Cushy over at first. Jake Lefrancois does the catching for Luke DeLongchamp, Boston College-bound Division I recruit. The right-hander with his first offering for Smith. Popped up toward left field on a first pitch swinging. Miller will drift in and make the catch for out number one.
Center fielder number 3, Sean.
1 pitch, 1 out.
It's a good situation.
1
there,
pitch,
Bill
1
Thomas.
out. He's got a good-looking fastball on that first pitch, too.
That brings Sean Dutton, the center fielder, to the plate, and he gets buzzed with pitch number one as it misses up and in. Long, lean levers on DeLongchamp there, Bill Thomas.
He's got everything. He's got the makeup.
The 1-0 pitch. Bears down on that one for a called strike.
Wish somebody was here with a gun tonight. A speed gun.
Here comes the 1-1 from DeLongchamp. Breaking pitch
what a curve.
misses in the outside corner. Yes, it does.
Now, if he starts that at the player is going to be ducking for the dugout before it gets to the strike zone. We'll have to see how that curve develops over the course of the night tonight, especially those right-handed batters.
The 2-1 offering from DeLongchamp, popped up by Dutton. Drifting back goes the shortstop, Rubin. He will settle into shallow center field and make the catch for out number 2. Bill Thomas, I think the first thing that I've kind of taken from these first two batters, it's the first time Leominster has looked somewhat overmatched this year.
First couple of batters, but I will say that both first two batters got their bat on the ball, put the ball in play. So we'll have to see how this matchup plays out tonight. You know, the last thing Leominster wanted to see was a couple of swing and misses. The first, for strikeouts to start the game. The fact they're putting the ball in play, I think that bodes well. We'll have to see, how it carries out as the game progresses. Breaking
pitch catches the inside corner for DeLongchamp to Evan McCarthy. Another breaking ball fouled off outside of third base and knocked down by Lefrancois.
I think pitch count's going to be important tonight too, Kate and Todd. We'll keep an eye on that. We like to keep track of pitch counts also to kind of speculate what's going on. But, you know, I think that's something we got to keep an eye on tonight. And I think that's something that the Leominster coaches have probably been preaching to their batters. Let's be patient tonight, but let's not get caught standing around watching the game.
Jake Lafrancois sets up on the outside. DeLongchamp comes in, and it's a hard line drive just out of the reach of the second baseman Bazidlo and into center field. A nice base hit for McCarthy, and looking oddly like the top of the first inning, Bill Thomas.
And 3 batters, 3 balls have been put in play. I think that bodes well. So far, so good. We'll have to see. Once again, you know, it's going to be about pitch count. It's going to be about making the Knights play defense, and you know, basically just keep putting the ball in play, and good things will happen.
That brings Nick Garcia to the plate, and a sweeping breaking ball called strike on the outside corner is where things are starting. You'll notice right off the bat, Bill Thomas, DeLongchamp going, especially in the heart of the order here, going with a breaking ball. A little off-speed, little breaking ball.
He's been showing both. He's got a fantastic fastball, but we've seen a very sharp breaking curveball also.
Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Cut on and missed by Garcia, and he's in the hole. No balls and 2 strikes.
Pretty much mixing them up, too. You know, fastball, curveball, and you know, once you get in the hole as a hitter with a pitcher with 2 strong pitches like that, you're definitely guessing.
Here comes DeLongchamp kicking and missing, up and in. 1 ball, 2 strikes goes the count.
Once again, a pitcher's pitch right there, though. No intention of throwing a strike. You want to swing at that, go ahead and have at it. But a pitcher with his kind of control, which we've seen already early in the game, you can play around like that.
McCarthy at first, a 1 ball, 2 strike count to Garcia. Cut on and miss, ball in the dirt. Hustling on down is Lafrancois, the catcher. He'll flip it on to first for Cushy, and that's the way the inning will end. Leominster gets a base hit in the inning, but otherwise goes fairly quietly in the bottom of the first. It's 2-0 Knights through 1. More to come. This is RFM. To the top of the second inning we go here at historic Doyle Field. A 2-0 St. Paul lead. And of course, we expected them to start fast. That's what we saw in this one. And that's honestly what Coach Ed Riley wanted. He wanted his team to come quick in that process. Ben Cushy, Joey Bazidlo, Jake Lafrancois. 6, 7, 8 due up in the inning for the Knights.
Have to see if Harris can bounce back. You know, he had the first 2 batters rather easily, but ended up giving up that big 2-run home to DeLongchamp. See if he can get back on stride here, second.
First pitch fouled off by Cushy. Count goes to 0-1.
You know, Harris has been around the plate, but when you get hurt by the other team's best play, all you can do is just, you know, tippy cap to him, I think, at that point, and come back and get the rest of the team.
Cushy cuts on the 0-1 pitch and misses. 0-2 goes the count. Cushy from Harris. Here comes the 0-2 offering from Harris. Leaves it off the corner wide. 1 ball, 2 strikes goes the count.
Nice crowd tonight, I might add.
Indeed.
I'm going to guess we can't see all the grandstands. A couple hundred people here at least with, all ringing the outfield. Nice crowd, great night for baseball.
The 1-2 pitch, Smith wanted it in on the knees. Ends up being down and away from Harris, and the count levels at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the 2-2 pitch from Harris. High and cut on and missed. Got a little help there from Cushy for out number 1 here in the top of the second.
When you're around the plate, though, that's what you'll get. You'll get those swing and misses. You working with 2 strikes, you can try to get the batter guessing, and you'll get those anticipation swings.
Joey Bazidlo, the second baseman, comes to the plate. Trying to get something started here for the Knights, already up 2-0 in the top of the second. Harris starts Bazidlo off with the ball away. One and 0 the count from Harris to Bazidlo, the second baseman. Comes the 1-0 pitch. Down and away.
Harris still dangling around that outside corner there, not getting any help. Those first 2 pitches, not that he should have, but reluctant to come inside, aggressive hitters.
Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Down and away again.
Once again, still staying out there.
Especially in this part of the order, Bill Thomas. 7, 8, 9 at this point is what's potentially in front of you.
And those are the guys that you don't want to walk, because then, the top of the order is when you start wiggling and they do the damage. If the table setters get on, watch out when you swing around the top of the order.
Harris's 3-0 offering to Bazidlo. Got a strike on the outside corner.
That was a take all the way.
Indeed it was. I mean, just at this point.
Which is good baseball. You would expect that from the coach who was a pitcher and a well-coached team. That was you could give up a room service fastball there. You knew that a well-coached team, the player was not going to swing.
Well, and Harris is struggling. Why help him out? Here comes the 3-1. Down and away it misses for ball 4. A walk to Bazidlo puts some speed on first, and that brings the catcher Jake Lefrancois to the plate for his first at-bat. Still the first trip through the order for Harris. Got 2 strikeouts in the first inning, but also gave up the 2-run home run to Luke DeLongchamp. Thought about bunt, did Lefrancois, and Harris missed off the outside corner. And sometimes, Bill Thomas, that's just to give the pitcher something else to think about.
Yeah, because you wouldn't expect a 1-out bunt, because, a runner on second with 2 outs, if it's success in, converting the sacrifice into an out, you that's not the opportunity that you like giving up an out. But I think the bat is just kind of putting something in the mindset of Harris out there. He's having trouble throwing strikes as it is now. And if you're worried about the batter square, and now you got to worry about playing fielder, just another thing to go through your mind is trying to find the strike zone.
And Lefrancois asks for time, and he steps out. Now regathers himself. A 1-0 pitch from Harris. High and line drive. Now a high fly ball as it continues to climb. Drifting back is Smith to the deepest part of Doyle Field. He will make the catch for out number 2.
Right fielder.
Ball's carrying nice tonight, though. We got nice breezes picked up. It seems to be going from left to right, carrying out. We're seeing some movement in the flag out there. Might see some balls carrying as the night goes on tonight out in center, and especially to right field. Somebody can get it up in that jet stream.
Hard to tell from the way the flag is out in center field, but we can certainly feel it down here at field level. 2 outs here in the top of the second. Colin Johnson, the right fielder, at the plate, and he thought Harris maybe was taking a little too long. Harris decides to check over on Bazidlo at first. And so everybody will reset themselves, and from the stretch, this is Harris. Dangles the arm, now comes set. Quick snap over to first. Bazidlo not far enough off. McCarthy checks with the tag, and on back to Harris. Harris just looking to find a way to settle down right now, Bill Thomas.
Yeah, I'd say he's, he's getting some swings always, but he's just trying to live in that outside corner right now.
First offering to Johnson is a called strike. That got outer half.
Curveball right there, too.
Yeah.
I think he's been probably 80% fastballs up to this point in the game. But went back to his curveball right there, got a nice called strike.
And he'll check on Bazidlo again. That one was low, but got back in time. And McCarthy was able to dig it out. 0-1 the count on Johnson. Bazidlo at first. 2 outs here, top of the second. The 0-1 pitch, called strike on the outside corner. Perhaps an opportunity here for Harris to get out unscathed here in the top of the second.
Once again, Harris working with a runner on here with 2 outs. Got to get out of this one.
We've got him for 30 pitches already, Bill Thomas.
Yeah, I had him for 23 in the first inning, and yeah, he's got a good 8 or 10. Yeah, I've got him up in that neighborhood too.
The 0-2 drifts high. Smith out of the crouch, catches it, keeps it there at home plate, and 1-2 goes the count. 2 outs here in the top of the second. Johnson, the 9-hole hitter, the right fielder at the plate. Bazidlo over at first. And it certainly has been concerning Harris as he comes set at the chin, snaps it on over to Bazidlo and throws a little bit of a knuckleball over to first.
Not really, trying to pick him off over there. I think maybe they're looking for a move, try to get him leaning the wrong way. Working from the stretch, which can be uncomfortable.
The 1-2 pitch reaches the bat out there, does Johnson, sends a little flare toward shortstop, drifting back and making the catch is Nick Massa, and that will do for the Knights here in the second. 4 came to the plate, just the 1 walk. It's a strikeout and 2 flyouts for Harris in the second. Through 1.5, Knights 2, Blue Devils back up here in the bottom of the second with nothing. 2-0 Knights through 1.5 here at Doyle. More to come on RFM. To the bottom of the second we go for Leominster. 5, 6, 7 due up. That's Arsenault, Savatelli, and Durkin to battle DeLongchamp here in the bottom of 2. Leominster trailing 2-0. For those of you joining us here on Rivalry Family Media, we apologize for the technical difficulties. This game now coming to you in delay. Cut on and missed on this first pitch from Arsenault from DeLongchamp, but we do appreciate your being with us. Appreciate your catching the stream here on this delayed tape, Bill Thomas. We tried.
Once again, it's radio
pitch
with pictures, but sometimes it's not live.
That's right.
But we do our best. We're here live.
These things do happen.
As long as you're seeing it for the first time, that's all that matters.
That is all that matters to me. Arsenault's got a 1-1 count, the designated hitter. DeLongchamp with the delivery. Breaking pitch, misses outside. Nice dig by LaFrancois to keep it at the plate.
I tell you, that curveball's got some bite on it. It's probably coming in there about 80 miles an hour.
Plate umpire trying to steer the Knights back into the dugout. This may not have been a problem, Bill Thomas, when you were officiating. This is some new problem that officials have to deal with. We had a problem all the time with it in the Pro League. 2 balls and a strike, cut on and missed by Arsenault.
Well,
2-2 goes the count.
Nobody wants to be behind a fence to begin with, so they all bring a bucket out, a ball bucket or something. They want to be in front and watch the action.
Nobody appreciates the official's dilemma. The 2-2 pitch just off the outside corner and runs the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. That's the third member of the broadcast team, Kate Robbins. Kate's still here with us.
That was my analysis.
Been trying. Here's the payoff pitch, and That misses as well, ball 4.
You didn't like my analysis?
Well, first of all, I feel bad. You've been working with the coat hanger and the gum and
that's me.
playing MacGyver here on the broadcast, trying to get us back on the air live, so we appreciate your efforts. But in the meantime, everything else you've been seeing, good start for Leominster in the bottom of the second. They draw a walk.
Yeah.
They got themselves a base runner.
I think that was a gift, but let's see what they can do with it.
Once again, when you're talking about whether that pitch is off the corner or on the corner, that's something really the only people that debate that is the batter,
And me.
the pitcher, and the catcher.
And
you know, and if everybody on the side's like, oh, that looked good, ooh, you know. So, and I used to love playing with that as an umpire. And, you know, not be too generous, but that's part of the fun you can have as an umpire and keep people on their toes, especially early in the count, you know, and they can say what they want from the sides.
And you are the reason they're trying to replace us with computers. Here's the 1-0 pitch. A sweeping breaking ball for a called strike. Tony Savatelli getting his first look at DeLongchamp. Arsenault at first, the designated hitter, drew the walk to start here in the bottom of the second. Leominster chasing 2. Swung on, popped up by Savatelli. Center field Smith says he's got it tracked, and into shallow center he makes the catch.
Once again, Blue Devils doing a good job putting the ball in play. A lot of fly balls at this point in the game, though, but they are putting the ball in play. I'll see if we can't turn some of them to line drives.
And that brings Eamon Durkin to the plate, the right fielder, the senior. Durkin settles in the left-hander. Arsenault on at first. 1 out here, bottom of the second. DeLongchamp from the stretch. Blazes a fastball in there and waved at by Durkin.
Well, the interesting thing here in the early going, neither of these pitchers have been overpowering. It's not as if you're in a position where Leominster's not getting their bat on the ball or St. Paul's not getting their bat on the ball. It's just right now St. Paul has been the beneficiary of a timely hitting.
Going with the pitch was Arsenault. Down to second, LeFrancois' throw. There was a little stagger there in on the slide from Arsenault, but he is safely into second base with the steal.
Tried to get him on a little pop-up off the base there, kept the tag on him. Umpire didn't give it to him, though.
Pitch called a strike at home plate, and the count shows there's no balls, 2 strikes. On the left field scoreboard, 1 out here. Leominster's got the runner in scoring position, and Durkin looking to find some space out there, Bill Thomas. A flare to the right spot.
And I like that. I like that. Putting the runner in motion, you know, hits are going to be at a premium tonight. Get somebody in scoring position with 1 out here.
DeLongchamp from the stretch. Sneaks a peek at Arsenault at second. Now again. Shortstop Rubin playing in behind there, and DeLongchamp drills Durkin with the ball.
That's got to hurt, but he never flinched. Tough kid right there. Even Durkin would look like it hit him right on the either between the knee and the shin, or. But trots his way down to first base.
And if you're Leominster here, although you are coming to the bottom of your order, you need some production, and you have a young man coming up to bat who was instrumental in your last win. So although toward the bottom of the Leominster's order, this is not somebody that you're just gonna, sniff at and say, okay, this is gonna be a strikeout. Fava had the game-winning home run not a few days ago in one of their earliest, or most recent victories for Leominster. So St. Paul here wanting to be very careful. They have the 2-0 lead. They're in the part of the order that they want to be in so that they remain in the catbird seat and can retain their 2-0 lead here early on. But again, I have been a little bit surprised. Leominster doing a good job getting bat on ball.
Exactly
this has
right,
not
Kate.
been a situation where DeLongchamp has been overpowering. Incredibly talented. He's been hitting his spots, but I've been pleased to see that Leominster's been able to put the ball in play. So now they need Fava to make something happen here in the 8th spot.
Notably also, fly balls. All
Yeah,
fly
well, I
balls.
was going to comment,
well.
out of four outs, 3 of them been fly ball outs, so pop up. So got to turn those fly balls into line drives. And but once again, Kate, great point. The Leominster is putting the ball in play.
Fava at the plate, Arsenault down at second, Durkin at first, and DeLongchamp decides to step off the back, take a look at Arsenault and reset himself. 1 out here, bottom of the second, Leominster chasing 2, 2 on here, Fava at the plate, and he fouls the first one straight back.
It came to me. I got it.
Not so much, but we got a good look at it, I'll bet.
Right on that swing, though. Just missed it. Foul is straight back over the top here.
Fava settles in with that open stance, gets both eyes on DeLongchamp's delivery. One out with the 2 on, cut on and missed. Got away from LeFrancois, but he chased it down up the third baseline. Kept all the runners from moving up, and Fava's in the hole, no balls, 2 strikes.
Impressive how quickly the catcher was able to locate that ball. A lot of times when you see that ball get misplayed, they're looking for it with the extensive backstop that you have here. Nice job locating that right away. Neither runner able to advance.
Particularly with those hockey helmets, certainly limits the periphery. 0-2 the count on Fava. Okay. And it's a balk called against DeLongchamp.
You know, you see DeLongchamp, he's got a kind of an odd motion there. He's wiggling that front leg. He has trouble getting settled, and I wonder if he didn't break that knee a little bit right there. You know, you can't do anything that resembles the beginning of your motion. He's back to his full windup now.
And the 1-2 pitch is fouled off as Fava stays alive, but the balk moves both runners into scoring position. Arsenal now at third, Durkin down at second, and DeLongchamp a little rattled. He'll go back to the full windup here, Bill Thomas.
Yeah, he last pitch full windup, and he's probably more comfortable.
The 1-2 misses high. Excuse me, that is a ball for 1-2, excuse me.
0-2, I think that makes it 1-2, Todd.
I just went to my softball rules, Bill Thomas.
That's okay.
We give away a ball on illegal pitches.
Yeah.
Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Cut on and missed. Fava down on strikes. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning. 2 on with 2 out, and that brings Nick Massa, the shortstop, to the plate. Massa has varied in and out of this 9-hole as Coach Rich Barnaby has been able to play with his lineup and move the pieces around a little bit. Didn't hit in his last appearance here on RFM. And the suicide squeeze into the plate. He is called out at home plate. Arsenal thought he had it, and the plate umpire says not so fast.
Nice job right there, getting out and putting that tag on. Massa couldn't get the ball down, but still nice job on that attempt to steal by home.
2 unassisted, the score, 3rd out of the inning. Through to complete here at Doyle Field, Leominster is still scoreless. We go to the top of the 3rd. When we come back, this is RFM. To the top of the third we go here at historic Doyle Field, and it's a pitching change for the Blue Devils. Close the book on Ryan Harris and pick another Ryan. Ryan Garner, the tall, lanky lefty, will come in to take over here in the top of the third in a 2-0 hole. Back to the top of the order, and a high fly ball toward the first base line. McCarthy gives chase, but that is out of play. 1, 2, 3 due up here in the top of the third. Smith, LaFrancois, and Rubin due up for the Knights.
Take a look at how close. Who we got? Smith. Look at how close to the line he is, crowding the plate.
The line's gone, but he's almost standing on
right
the plate
there
when it comes to that batter's box.
And the 0-1 pitch, ground ball to Savatelli at second, up with it and on to first. In time, 4-3 goes the
Well,
putout.
that becomes a situation. You're essentially daring somebody to try to pitch you inside.
inside,
You're
yeah.
covering that outside corner of the plate without any hesitation and any problem, and you are daring your opposition. Go ahead, pitch me inside, watch me turn on that.
And let's look at Ryan coming from the left side, too, and a lefty crowding the plate like that. Not a lot of room to work. Kind of takes away that sweeping curveball, and I think is what the left-handed bat is trying to do.
Yep.
As Max LaFrancois comes to the plate, a victim swinging in the first inning. He looks at ball one. Now the 1-0 pitch, he swings and misses, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike.
Ryan not wasting any time, getting the ball back, looking for that sign. Let's go. Nice soft curveball right there.
Yeah, cut on and miss. Count goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes.
A little slushy curve.
And Garner, the 1-2 offering, popped up behind us and out of play. We'll try another 1-2 pitch. Closing the line on Ryan Harris, Leominster's starter. 2 innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 runs. They were both earned. A walk and 3 strikeouts. The 1-2 pitch, chopped on the ground ball. LaFrancois finds the 5-6 hole, and it will roll to Fava in left field. A base hit with 1 out for LaFrancois.
Number 1, Joey Rubin.
Well-placed hit right there, but nonetheless, nice solid single for LaFrancois.
And that brings Joey Rubin to the plate. He singled to get things started in the first, became a run scored on DeLongchamp's 2-run home run.
Yeah, he got things going and led to the homer by DeLongchamp. And, you know, to finish.
Garner misses down and away on his first offering to Rubin.
To finish closing the book. I had Harris for in the neighborhood of 36 pitches over the first 2 innings. You know, he labored after he got those first 2 outs in the first inning, and then it started showing. Even though he didn't give up any runs in the second inning, threw a lot of pitches, and I think good move by Coach Barnaby to go to his bullpen right there.
Garner, the lefty, brings the breaking ball on the outside corner to the right-handed batter Rubin for a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. LaFrancois at first, the 1-1 pitch, hot line drive, knocked down by Savatelli at second. Runners will both reach on the play. Heck of an effort by Savatelli. He just couldn't reel it in.
Yeah, it was hit off to his left a little bit, his glove side, and he had the runner breaking on the play right there. The runner was almost up to in front of him. Makes the play. He has a double play, and I'm suspicious that he might have taken his eyes off the ball right there with the runner kind of at him. There's a lot going on, but fortunately the ball kind of worked its way through his glove. Both runners are safe.
Just enough traffic there to take your eye off
Yeah,
of
a
it.
little bit of a distraction. The runner was off with the pitch.
And that brings Luke DeLongchamp to the plate. Home run in the first at bat. It was a 2-run homer. Run scored on that play as well, and it's the 2-0 score that we have. That previous play, by the way, scored a hit here in the stadium.
Yeah, that was not an easy play by any means, any stretch of the imagination. A makeable play on a good day, but not an easy play.
The 0-1, DeLongchamp fouls back. And the hole, no balls, 2 strikes.
Coach Riley looking a little bit antsy over in the third base coaching box. I do not necessarily
I don't know if
think
I'd
that's what
want
he's
to be
hoping
standing
for.
there either.
I'm certain he can take
I'm
it.
sure
he probably
he-
has fabulous react
I'm
skills.
sure he hits a lot of hard line drives down that
Yeah.
third base line.
The 0-2 pitch misses for Garner wide. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Okay, for the record, I just got hit with something in the head. It wasn't rotten fruit that I know of, and Hopefully it wasn't from something avian as well.
No, it's a bug, and I got it. It's on
Thank
your
you
back.
very much.
A big
Appreciate
bug,
it.
a big bug,
Gotcha.
but a bug.
It felt like it. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Line drive for DeLongchamp right by Massa at short. Around third and into home is LeFrancois sliding in to score. On to third, diving in safely is Rubin. And it is a one-out double on the play for DeLongchamp. Knocks home the RBI with LeFrancois. And he's done all the work, both defensively as the pitcher, but also in knocking in 3 runs.
Yeah, nice, solid. I'm going to only give him credit for a single, Todd, there. He ends up on second base on the
advance.
play at the plate.
That's
Let's
fine.
not be too generous, but a solid single right there. The run was going to score, throw a little bit offline. Nice heads-up base running by DeLongchamp to get him down to second, but really the heads-up play was made right there by Joey Rubin, taking third base on that throw to the plate. And so now 2 runners in scoring position here for the Knights.
And that brings Deegan Miller to the plate. He was caught looking in his first at-bat. First pitch swinging. High fly ball to center field. Dutton will make the catch. Garner into the plate to back up. Smith lays out to keep the ball near home plate. Great effort by the catcher. That could have gotten all sorts of shades of ugly.
Yeah, nice job, but Gardner, where he's supposed to be, though, backing up the play on that. Good heads-up baseball all around.
Well, I can tell you what we're going to be working on in practice tomorrow. We're going to be working on some relay.
That
some
hitting the
cutoff?
cutoff there, Kate?
Hitting the cutoff?
The cutoff.
Yeah.
We're going to be working on some throws.
It's
from
big,
the
and it's the
outfield.
little things that make a big difference now. A base hit here scores 2, where if you could have hit the cutoff on that first base hit that scored the run, you hold to first and third.
Yeah.
It's the little things like that that make a difference when you got 2 top teams. You're facing a top pitcher. You can't give away those fundamentals.
Cushy swings and misses at the first offering from Garner. He swung and missed in his first at-bat for a 3 straight strikeout there. And now swings and misses at this one. Finds himself in the hole. No balls, 2 strikes.
Who did Deegan fly out to, Todd?
Deegan
Who
flew out
made
to
that
center
play?
field.
Center field. I didn't know if Sabatelli made it out
Scored
there.
it in F8 out there in center field.
Thank you. Getting my book up to date.
You are welcome. Here comes the
too-
0-2 pitch from Garner. Just got a piece of it. Did Cushy there.
Too much talking and not enough calculating going on over here.
He stays alive, but barely.
Got me worried about bugs now.
That one hit me full speed.
Well, but I think that was a beetle. That was
Very well may be. Garner's 0-2, fouled off once again. Cushy is getting the timing down here. Last one just barely got that one. Got a pretty good piece of sending it here to the backstop.
Yeah.
No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Cushy at the plate. Garner trying to get out of the inning with just the 1 run. The 0-2 offering. This is up and away.
Fish a little bit, but Gardner doing a good job here trying to minimize the damage.
Rubin finds himself at third. DeLongchamp down at second. And Garner stares in at Cushy in a 1-2 count with 2 outs. Line drive tailing away from the left fielder Fava. It will fall in. 1 run is in. Second one on the way to the plate. Garcia cuts it off at third. And it's a 5-0 lead for the Knights.
And that goes back to we talked about those fundamentals, Todd. If DeLongchamp had been on first, he wouldn't have scored there. Cost him another run, missing a cutoff. You're right. They're going to be working on fundamentals tomorrow.
Well, and this now harkens back to what we saw from Coach Riley on Twitter about this team, something clicking. Not only that, but using the words that Leominster embarrassed them in their last matchup. That clearly left a very, very bad taste in their mouth, and they are making a statement here in this one. Leominster has been riding a wave of wins coming into this senior night, and clearly you can just take a look at Twitter and take a look at what's been going on. The St. Paul Knights are hungry.
And take a look at
Indeed
who's
they
standing
are.
behind us, a bunch of players from St. John's. So this game means a lot to a lot of kids, a lot of people, a lot of interest.
Bazidlo flies that one toward Durkin and Wright, who will make the catch to end the inning, but the damage is done. 7 batters come to the plate in the top of the third. 3 singles make it a 4th, drives in the remaining runs. 3 runs in the inning for the Knights. Through 2.5, St. Paul 5, Leominster nothing. More to come. This is RFM. To the bottom of the third we go. Leominster trails 5-0. It's 9-top for the Blue Devils as they have not made it through their order going into the bottom of the third. So Nick Massa will lead off. Tyler Smith and Sean Dutton to follow, due up here in the bottom of the third inning as Leominster chases 5. DeLongchamp has Massa pop this one up to the backstop as Leominster tries to get something going here in the bottom of the third, and Bill Thomas.
Shall I talk about my pet peeve?
Well, yeah, I was going to say, Kate, first of all, it was a missed bunt, so let's talk about your pet peeve.
We're there. We're good.
Get the bunt down.
Moving on.
Get the bunt down.
And
I'll
then-
say it for you, Kate. Get
and
the
then-
bunt down.
Kate, let's
Fundamentals.
talk about beyond those fundamentals. Let's talk about Luke DeLongchamp after this pitch. I'll bring this to
Certainly.
you. Here comes the 0-1. Rips a fastball in there, and Massa's in the hole, no balls, 2 strikes. Not only has he been dominating on the mound tonight, but let's also add he is his very own run support.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a lovely place to be in life, is it not?
Driven in 3 runs of the 5 that the Knights have scored.
I mean, if I were that talented, I'd be excited. So, and the nice
Well, I
thing is
was-
psychologically, think about what it does relative, number one, to his confidence, not only on offense, but on defense. He has 5 runs to be able to play with. He can go right at anybody in this Leominster order right now.
And DeLongchamp sets with Massa on another 0-2 pitch. Buckles the hands, but misses up and away as Massa was able to hold on.
You know, in 2 innings, a couple of at-bats, a couple of good strong innings on the mound, and we saw somebody from, I believe it was Assumption. He's already seen enough.
No, it was
he's
Worcester
already
State.
headed home.
Worcester State.
One of the college scout or somebody, seeing what the opposition is going to look like. Yeah, he's seen enough.
Massa sends the 1-2 pitch to the deep part of right center, but drifting over and making the catch is Cody Smith.
Catcher number 2, Tyler Smith.
Back
Yeah, I
at the
thought-
top of the order go the Blue
I
Devils.
thought
Sorry,
that
Bill
was
Thomas.
interesting. I'm
Well,
sorry.
and
I'm
Bill
just,
Thomas, that's the interesting. The
Yeah.
other interesting thing about the month of June, the college season now well over for
Yeah.
for everybody here in Central Massachusetts, and so you have the opportunity to do some scouting, and it's a beautiful night to go to the ballpark.
Oh, absolutely. And there's plenty of high school games still being played.
Indeed.
And the playoffs usually aren't going on, this late in the year into June like they're going to be this year. And, you look at some of the amateur baseball.
DeLongchamp with the breaking ball. Catches the inside corner against Smith. Smith flew out to left field in his first at-bat.
I was being a little inquisitive about what's going on in Worcester. I haven't heard anything about the Bravehearts this year with the Wachusett.
Just started.
Taking over
Their
Worcester,
season just
but,
started. I saw
I'm sure
they've
they're-
had some rain issues.
I'm sure they're working with the the Wachusett best they can and try to not create conflicts.
Smith with a little flare. DeLongchamp comes off the mound and makes his very own catch.
Number 3, Sean Dutton.
2 outs for the Blue Devils here in the bottom of the third. And that brings Sean Dutton to the plate. Dutton flew out to shortstop in his first at-bat. And this one, foul tip, stays right here at home plate, but he's in the hole 0-1.
Nothing more frustrating when you're attempting to check your swing and you make contact like that, because now all of a sudden you're giving one of the most talented pitchers in Central Massachusetts a free strike.
Helped them out.
DeLongchamp cruising here in the bottom of the third. The 0-1, cut on and missed.
I feel like he's been getting stronger as the pitches continue to mount up. His pitch count remains low. He's not in any danger of going overboard there, and right now he's cruising. He's on autopilot.
The 0-2 pitch. Off the outside corner for a ball.
Off the where?
We'll call it the outside corner. One
Off
ball,
the
2
where?
strikes.
A little up to maybe. We'll call that high and a little
Up
high
to the
and
where?
outside.
1 ball, 2 strikes. The
Look
count.
like
Well,
Broadway.
Sean's not the tallest player either.
The
so.
1-2 breaking ball. Dutton will flare this one into right center field, and Leominster's got themselves a base hit.
Well placed, just over the outstretched leap of the second baseman.
First baseman, number
I wish I had ups like that. You couldn't slide a piece of 8.5 by 11 underneath my feet if I were to.
You weren't a
attempt that.
jumper in the.
No, I
in
played
the
I played
athletic
the hot
days.
corner. I played the hot.
Stayed
corner.
on the ground and you
Yeah.
kept your glove ready at all times.
2 outs here, and that brings Evan McCarthy to plate. Singled in his last at-bat, and he'll look at ball 1 high.
See if Evan can help himself out now, or his team out, I should say. We know what he can do with the plate.
And he'll step back in. He could certainly break things open for Leominster getting back into this ball game right now. Things looking awfully cold here in the bottom of the third. DeLongchamp snaps one on over to check Dutton back to first. Did you see the zip on that one, Bill Thomas?
That was a serious pickoff attempt right there, and it was on the bag, too. This kid's got it all. He's definitely worked on his game. You know, let's see if McCarthy can time one up here. You know, the faster it comes in, the faster it goes out sometimes.
The 1-0, called strike on the outside. 1 ball, 1 strike levels the count. 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Leominster chasing a 5-0 night lead here at Doyle Field, a team they disposed of back in early May with a 7-1 win on the road. A 1-1, breaking ball misses the outside corner. 2 balls and a strike.
McCarthy showing some good patience there on that biting curveball.
Temperature is dropping.
It is dropping. There is a nice breeze, though. We mentioned it earlier. It is a beautiful night at the ballpark.
Hope there's no rain in the area. That's all I'm concerned about.
2-1, swing and a miss from McCarthy. Count level now again at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Okay, I'm going to check my radar.
DeLongchamp sneaks a peek at Dutton over at first. Looks back at McCarthy, the 2-2. Off with the pitch was Dutton. That one in the dirt, runs the count full, and Dutton's got himself a stolen base. So a 3-2 count to McCarthy at the plate, and hey, up 5-0, Bill Thomas. McCarthy may be a serious hitter, no question about it, but that runner at second right now is still fairly meaningless in the grand scheme.
Well, I think still, you know, stolen bases and chipping away, I think that's what you got to do. You're probably not going to put a big inning together against DeLongchamp.
The payoff pitch popped up toward first base. Bazidlo talks to Cushy. Cushy takes charge, and he will make the catch. No, that was Bazidlo.
Second baseman came around, circled
He
around.
did.
I think the first baseman lost it in the lights. Nice job by the second baseman.
To stay with that one and retire the Blue Devils, once again stranding a runner here in the third. Leominster has stranded 3 in 3 innings. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and the 1 left on. Through 3 here at historic Doyle Field. It's St. Paul 5, Leominster nothing. More to come. This is RFM. Back to historic Doyle Field here on Rivalry Family Media. And we go to the top of the 4th inning. 8-9 top. LaFrancois Johnson Smith due up in the inning for the Knights. A 5-0 St. Paul lead through 3 as we go to the top of the 4th. And the sad soundtrack is on over at Public.
I got to tell you, it's a good thing there's no audio during the breaks because we need audio outtakes. But yeah, it's like.
YouTube's already calling. Strikes are flying right now as
I was
we
singing
move forward.
through the entire inning.
Oh my.
Fantastic.
Here we go. 8-hole hitter Jake LaFrancois flew out the center in his first at-bat. Garner still on the rubber. And this one fouled down the first base line and out of play.
Can't even handle this.
And
I can't even do it anymore.
broken glass over there on the first base line. He's not going to get me tonight. I'm not going to fall for it.
Remember, a couple of times the first game, we legitimately looked behind us.
Yeah, we thought over at the taqueria somebody caught one in the
yeah, he got me. I'll admit it.
Garner the 0-1 off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's good times.
Indeed.
There's nothing like a baseball game In the evening.
In the evening.
At historic Doyle Field.
On a great night here at historic Doyle
With the
Field.
entire St. John's baseball team looking over your shoulder.
Well, I was going to comment about that.
The
I
1-1.
did a little bit. Ooh.
Fouled off by
Last
LaFrancois.
inning that it's drawn interest not only from fans and parents, but also rival baseball teams showing up, which
I've
is
been
great to see.
interested in the
great
name
to see.
Bazidlo at St. Paul's.
Indeed.
Just an FYI.
We can't confirm. This pitch drifts high from Garner and levels the count at 2-2. I would also note, by the way, and this, of course, goes with this Central Mass Athletic Directors Tournament, we were going to see St. John's, but for the rain, we were going to see that St. John-Shrewsbury matchup, which ended up playing today as this one was fouled
Do we have
off.
a final from that?
We'll get a final as this one
that.
continues.
We
But
could probably get one of the kids over here and ask them.
that was
Too
our
tall, they
broadcast.
scare me.
That was scheduled to be right here on RFM last weekend. Rain took that one out of the Memorial Day forecast. Here comes the 2-2 pitch from Garner. Little chopper down the third base line. Killed the foul expertly by Garcia, charging that one as it was starting to catch that little grass rail, Bill Thomas, which may start to turn it back in.
It was going to get turned back to the left there and drift fair. Nice job right there by the third baseman to keep that foul.
We'll try another 2-2 pitch here. There's another one of my pet peeves, Bill Thomas.
What's that?
Sweeping the plate with your mask on and your butt facing the backstop.
Yeah.
Umpires, that's a
Stop
no-go.
it.
We'll talk about it. Here's the 2-2. That one foul-tipped and caught in the mitt by Smith.
You and your pet peeves.
Hey, there's a right way and a
Nope.
wrong way.
I've got a final.
I was an out.
All right, go ahead.
Oh, is that a final?
Well, it's not in progress. The team's over here.
I'm going to go ask them if they won 3-2.
It's their own Twitter.
St.
so
John, you
I
think
like
St.
their
John's won?
chances.
They were up 3-2. I can tell you
This
that
one
much.
fouled out of play as Colin Johnson comes to the plate. He flew out to shortstop to end the second. Bill Thomas reporting,
Nailed it.
yep, 3-2. Twitter, a victory once again.
Nailed it.
Here's Garner's 0-1 offering. Cut on and missed. And Johnson finds himself in the hole. No balls, 2 strikes. Yeah, disappointed. We were excited to get that battle of
I was looking
Shrewsbury
forward to
matchup.
that
and
game, and unfortunately, the weather didn't cooperate for about 5 days in a row.
I was going to say, so put that on the calendar for next year. We'll hopefully be able to grab that one again. Here
We've
comes
tried
the
3
0-2.
years in a row.
A swing and a miss from Johnson. 2 straight strikeouts for Garner. Start the top of the 4th.
That'll help.
No doubt about it. Change the tenor in this one. As we go back to the top of the order, Cody Smith comes to the plate. He's 0 of 2 today. Flew out to right field, grounded out to second base in his last at bat in the 3rd. As Smith watches strike 1 go by from Garner.
Cody 0 for 2 tonight. I don't know if you mentioned that, Todd, but
I did.
fly out and a ground out.
Garner stares in, sends Smith the 0-1,
So
and misses the outside corner.
I'm going to mention that the breeze has picked up.
Indeed it has.
I was checking my radar.
And,
I hope they speed it up a little bit. That's all I'm going to say.
and me
Hope
without
things
my
keep
muff.
moving. We don't need any more runs.
Indeed. Here comes the 1-1. This one ripped foul outside the first base line.
Let me take that back. We do need runs. Just let Leominster score some runs. The
Quickly.
Knights kind of hang around because the breeze is picking up for a reason. That's all I'm going to say.
Ay, ay, ay. That tent's doing a great job at the RFM headquarters, by the way.
Hey, I can only carry around so much equipment in my trunk.
No, that's me under the bus.
We know. Here's the 1-2. Hey, it's me too. I was there.
That's
Here's
me.
the high fly ball. Smith frustrated. He jackknifes the bat as Massa, the shortstop, floats into shallow left and makes the catch. 3 up and 3 down in the inning defensively for Leominster. That's good news for St. Paul. They are stuck at 5 through 3.5 here at Doyle Field. It's Knights 5, Blue Devils nothing. More to come. This is RFM. To the bottom of the fourth we go here on RFM. Pick it up in the 4-hole for Leominster. 4, 5, 6 due up in the inning for the Blue Devils. That's Garcia, Arsenault, and Savatelli. And Leominster sorely needs to get something going here in the fourth. Blanked through 3 innings offensively, and you don't want to be this far behind against DeLongchamp. Garcia was a victim swinging in his first at-bat in inning number 1. Hasn't been back since, and he looks at ball 1 as it goes by.
That one fooled him a little bit. Kind of knocking at the knees on that pitch.
That was the first time we've seen DeLongchamp try to work that curveball inside to a right-handed batter. He's been working that away for the most part.
It's where we would say that sounded like a strike. It popped to the mid, but it was well inside. 2-0 goes the count. The 2-0 pitch missed, and well out ahead is Garcia. 3 balls and no strikes.
Now, if you're the leadoff batter here for Leominster and you are sitting in a 3-0 count, you want to be very, very choosy. We need base runners, I'm assuming is what Coach Barnaby is going to be saying.
Not only that,
3-0 pitch, called a strike, 3-1.
But you made a comment about he's comfortable within his pitch count, and I think the Blue Devils need to work on that too whenever they can.
Our tabulation says 36 pitches. The 3-1 cut on and missed for Garcia. The count runs full.
Yeah, I had him starting the inning right about a 36, 37 also, and you know, very economic, about averaging about 12 pitches per inning.
3-2 pitch. Check swing foul.
Almost
to the
cost us
backstop.
a couple $1,000 right there, team. Just
Oh,
missed.
good.
Why not? Let's just
Just
add to the
missed.
hilarity tonight.
Just missed the camera. Thank you.
We'll try another 3-2 pitch, shall we? A 3-2 offering from DeLongchamp. Swung on and missed. And Garcia gets seared from the St. Paul fans on the way to the dugout.
I think they're probably taking exception to some of the sound effects.
Perhaps they are.
Well, that's why you have home venues and away venues.
That is correct. Arsenault comes to the plate. The designated hitter walked and then got cut down at home plate trying to steal in the second. And he looks at strike 1 as it goes by. The 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball misses the corner. 1 ball, 1 strike goes the count to Arsenault. One thing we know about Arsenault, he has a discerning eye. Here comes the 1-1. He'll rip this one foul outside of first base and toward Green Street.
Yeah,
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Good point, Todd. He worked a full count walk the first time up.
And I believe Bill Thomas. His last TV appearance here on RFM against Fitchburg a few weeks ago. 3 walks, all of them full counts. The 1-2 misses up and in. He says, yeah, that one was going fast. Did you get a look at that one as it went by? 2-2 goes the count.
He saw it briefly.
My, oh my, LaFrancois with a great catch. The 2-2 offering. Called strike 3. Didn't discern that one. 2 straight strikeouts for DeLongchamp here in the bottom of the 4th.
And one thing I see DeLongchamp doing this inning, coming inside more. A couple of inside curveballs there. Gets the call on that for a called 3rd strike.
Well, and he's really, this is only Bill Thomas, the 2nd time through the order for DeLongchamp. As Savatelli comes to the plate for his 2nd at-bat, a fly out to open the 2nd inning.
But getting stronger with every
And you always like
inning.
to say, we'll get him the 2nd time through. Or, you know, 3rd time through if he survives that long. But I think the DeLongchamp's doing a great job now. He's attacking the hitters a little differently. Looks like him and his catcher are working that inside half of the plate a little more this inning.
And if you're Leominster
Savatelli's in
going,
the hole 0-2. Go ahead,
and
Kate,
if you're
sorry.
Leominster going down 0-2 with nobody on,
And they've been
2
looking
outs.
that outside half all night, Kate.
Yep, they need to adjust.
0-2. Ooh, leaves it off the outside
But
corner.
don't look at where the catcher caught it. I think the catch is in the left-hand batter's box over there for that one.
I would agree. We
You
had a good look at it.
His left foot was in his right foot hole, so, I mean, looked like he hit the mitt, but
The 1-2 to Savatelli.
mitt was
Fouls
not
it
in the
off.
strike zone.
He'll try another 1-2 offering. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs to Tony Savatelli at the plate. Just the fly out, 0 of 1 on the day. Leominster trailing 5-0 here in the bottom of the 4th, and DeLongchamp just cool as the other side of the pillow. Here comes the 1 ball, 2 strike delivery. Fouled off as Savatelli stays alive. He'll try a 3rd 1-2 pitch. And this is all you can do at this point when you're trying to cut into a pitcher who's been cruising along. Just try to keep
Stay
making
alive.
him throw the ball. The 1-2. Called strike 3, set him
No
down.
hesitation right there. Umpire had it just as it hit the mitt.
3 up, 3 down, all strikeouts. 2 of them looking here in the bottom of the 4th.
He's
4
cruising
complete
now.
here at historic Doyle Field. And Kate, you are 100% correct. He is cruising, is DeLong champ through 4. 5-0, St. Paul over Leominster. More to come. This is RFM. To the top of the 5th we go here on RFM, and another pitching change as once again they go to the bullpen. And this is Brandon Arsenault, who will go to the bump for Leominster. Bill Thomas, at this point, it's going to be by committee for the night.
Yeah, we kind of expected this, after a tough first couple of innings there. But it's all about the pitch count at this point in the season, and the playoffs are coming up. You got to spread out the innings, I think, and a game like this, you're in a tough sledding. You don't want to burn any one pitcher up, but you got to get 7 innings out of your players, and good time for everybody to get a couple of innings right here.
And it's baptism by fire as we start the 5th here for Arsenault, as he'll get slots 2, 3, 4.
Ooh.
LeFrancois Ruben DeLong champ.
Ooh.
Well, there's a part of the order to start.
Yeah, and those the 4 guys are only responsible for being involved in all 5 runs, one way or the other, either scoring RBIs or helping move runners along. So, hey, have at it.
And Arsenault's first offering popped up in the triangle. Nobody takes charge of it, and it will fall in no man's land behind second base.
No man's land is an understatement right on that class of 2021
Yes,
logo
indeed.
that's painted out there.
Shortstop, number 1,
It's a line drive in the book. Call it a single for LeFrancois to open the 5th.
And that's not the type of help he needed. You get a fly ball right off the bat.
We
That's
talked
tough.
about routine plays pregame. I kind of emphasized it. And offense like this, you can't give them 4 or even 5 outs an inning. And that was, I believe, should have been an out, even though it was untouched. Looked like it was a playable ball, although it's a long run for all 3 players.
Ruben looks at strike 1 from Arsenault with LeFrancois down at first. Ruben is 2 of 2 on the day, both of them singles, runs scored. He is touched home in both times on base. He looks at ball 1 go by, 1 ball, 1 strike. Arsenault, quick check on LeFrancois over at first. Now comes set at the belt. The 1-1 misses down and in. 2 balls and a strike. The 2-1 pitch, chopping ground ball for Ruben. through the 5-6 hole again and into left field. Station to station go the runners, and Rubin's got his 3rd single of the day. And that advances LaFrancois down to second.
Pitcher number 27.
Scorer gave that an E5.
All right.
Right to the scoreboard.
All right,
I'm
Bill
looking at
Thomas.
the E light up there, Todd. Hard hit. That's a tough scoring call right there. Is that Garcia down there at third base? But that's a tough E5 right there for Garcia.
Dare we say everyone's a critic over there. Swing and a miss as DeLongchamp comes to the plate. Hey, he's had a quiet day, a home run for 2 runs, and then a single that scored 2 more the next time he came
That's all
up.
he's done?
That's it.
And he's pitched a shutout, and but it's probably helping rub up the baseballs during the half inning. He's in the dugout.
And he looks at strike 2 go by. This might be the worst off he's been in any at-bat here in the top of the 5th. Table set in front of him, though. LaFrancois down at second. Rubin on the error over at first. And Arsenault sends a bouncer in that Smith will play off the chest protector.
Nice job.
1 ball and 2 strikes.
Smith, keep that ball in front of him.
Yeah, got to square it up and get it in front of you.
55-foot curveball right there.
That's
Good
right.
job.
Not an easy ask all the time.
That's right. A 1 ball, 2 strike count, and Arsenault will step off the back. He's got no outs. Probably should have had the first one in the inning as LaFrancois reaches on the screaming line drive that fell in between 3 players. Now here comes the 1-2 pitch. That one short in the dirt again and knocked down once again by Smith. He is individually keeping Leominster in this game right now.
He is. Arsenault trying to work that curveball on the outside edge, just a little short. Doesn't want to leave it out over the plate, though. I feel for him. He's trying to nibble on that front corner on the left-hand side of the batter's box here.
Certainly not going to give DeLongchamp anything.
Two for two with 3 RBIs and pitching a gem on top of it. No, you'd like to at least maybe get a K out of this.
2-2 pitch is short again, and
I think we're going to have the unintentional intentional.
may as well
I
just
wouldn't want to pitch.
stand
to him.
up and put him on.
Just,
Come in.
I mean, but to get ahead in the count 0-2, but then you're trying to nibble and not make a mistake. I'm okay with a walk here, either way.
Arsenault set the 3-2 pitch. Breaking ball and got him to swing and miss.
4 straight pitches out there in that outside corner. Get some fishing for the 4th one.
And that's patience, Bill Thomas.
Shocked that he swung at that.
Indeed.
Left
Shocked.
fielder number 6.
Closing the book on Ryan Garner. Through 2 complete innings. Allowed 4 hits, 3 runs. They were all earned. Didn't walk a batter. 2 strikeouts.
I had him for about 35 pitches in those 2 innings.
Interested to see how much time the umpire is giving the St. Paul batters. They have asked for timing. Communication right now between the Leominster pitcher and catcher a little bit lengthy, but I thought that was a little bit quick on the trigger. In softball, they would have made us stay. They would have made us stay.
Yeah, we're kind of like that.
Yeah, let's go. Move it
Coach
along.
Ed Voles pops his head out of the dugout, and he's on his way to talk to his hurler as he will go have a conversation with Brandon Arsenault, who has settled down nicely. Hey, he got the toughest out today in Luke DeLongchamp just moments ago to swinging strikeout in his 3rd at-bat. Deegan Miller comes to the plate. He's who is due up, gets to have a conversation with Coach Riley, now wanders back to the plate. Miller was caught looking against Harris in his 1st at-bat, then flew out to center field in his 2nd at-bat against Garner. Now he'll try his luck against Brandon Arsenault. 3 at-bats, 3 different pitchers he's faced.
I think that's what we've seen here through most of the night's lineup, though. They took them 2 innings to go through their 9 batters the first time around. The 3rd and 4th inning sent 10 men to the plate, those 2 innings, and now they're seeing most of the lineup seeing their 3rd pitcher.
Arsenault sends this one down the tube, popped up by Miller. Dutton drifts in from center, takes charge, and makes the catch for out number 2.
And that's what you need,
First
that
baseman number 11, Ben
fly
Quincy.
ball right to one of your players. the second out.
2 straight flyouts for Miller to center field, and that brings Ben Cushy to the plate. Cushy swung and missed at 3 strikes in his first at-bat, and then singled and got stranded in his second in the third. And he will foul off the first offering.
Did find himself 2 RBIs, though, with that single in the third inning, contributing to that 5-0 lead.
Very important point there, Bill Thomas.
Helps when you have a book, Todd.
It does. It does indeed.
I was lost the first game. It's like, I can't believe I don't have a book.
It's a lonely feeling, to say the least. The 0-1 in the dirt, and Smith will knock it down. 1 ball and 1 strike runs the count.
It's funny how much you can reference from a couple of scribbles on
I was going to
going
say, just it makes all the difference in the world.
Of course, you got to understand your own hieroglyphics.
There is that, too. Arsenal's 1-1 offering in the dirt. Smith can't hang on to that one as it just scoots away. Everybody moves up station to station on the pass ball.
Once again, that outside curveball in the dirt right there. Smith stopped it, but just couldn't keep it in front of him. Bounced over through the right-hand batter's box, just out of his reach.
And they'll grant time to Cushy once again, who's got a 2-ball, 1-strike count with 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning, and the Knights with the comfortable 5-0 lead. 2 runners in scoring position here with 2 outs.
Cushy in the same position.
Oh,
First time up
That
in
one.
line to pick up a couple of RBIs here if he can find himself a hole.
That one rattles the fillings there on Smith. Umpire buys him a second as the count levels at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Surprised he didn't take a few seconds to brush off the plate right there and talk to Smith a little bit, but ready to go.
And Smith unfazed. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs with 2 on. Breaking pitch. And Smith wanted it and didn't get it. Count runs full. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Arsenal living with that curveball in that outside corner.
And Smith knows he could have framed it up. I think that was the frustration there. The payoff pitch, down and away. They lose the handle on Cushy.
that one hurts. That one hurts a bit.
And it loads the bases here in the top of the 5th inning. Brings Joey Bazidlo to the plate. Walked in his first at-bat, was stranded in the second, then flew out to right field to end the third. He also faced 2 different pitchers. He faced Harris and Garner, and now will face Arsenal for his 3rd at-bat. And looks at ball 1 go by, does Bazidlo. Bases juiced here with 2 outs. The 1-0 pitch, up and away. Count goes to 2-0.
It is count right here. Arsenal, no place to put him. Got to come in. Can't mess around with that curveball now.
Strike zone eluding him just a bit at the moment.
And Arsenal requests a new pill. This one's got the strikes in it. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs, bases loaded. There's a Knight in every direction you look. Here comes the 2-0, and there it is.
There it is.
Strike on the outside corner. 2 balls and a strike.
Sometimes you just need a second.
Kind of surprised Arsenal hasn't changed back into the full windup here with the bases loaded.
The 2-1 rips the corner as well and levels the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Works his way back even here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the 5th inning and the bases loaded, full of Knights.
Working a little bit faster here in the last few pitches.
A rhythm here. The 2-2. Bazidlo pops this one up, first base side. McCarthy seemingly going to get there, and he does make the catch.
Lunging over his head, but does find a way to corral it down there, far down that right field foul line, Todd.
And it will end the inning harmlessly. Leominster lets the bases load, but Arsenal gets himself out of trouble in the top of the 5th. Through 4.5, it's St. Paul 5 and Leominster nothing. More to come. This is RFM. To the bottom of the fifth we go here on RFM. Leominster trails 5-0, and for the Blue Devils, it is 7-8-9 due up here in the last of the fifth, and Eamon Durkin fouls the first pitch he sees from a new pitcher. Deegan Miller takes the rubber for the Knights here in the fifth. And he'll look at the second offering from Miller, and that'll level the count at 1-1 strike.
Let's see, so Miller taking over. He was playing shortstop. We'll have to see what other defensive moves we have here.
Miller watches that one go by, Durkin watches that one go by from Miller, down and in. 2 balls and a strike. The 2-1 in the dirt, swung on and missed, levels the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yes, I agree with you, Bill Thomas. We do have some changes in the field as well.
We'll get the binoculars out, everybody.
We'll try to get those to you as we continue
so
as well.
Miller was in left field.
2-2 is fouled to the backstop, and still alive is Durkin. He was hit by a pitch in his lone at-bat, and he was hit by a pitch with 2 strikes. Got stranded at second base in the second inning. Two-two pitch, lined into right field for a base hit, and Durkin starts off the bottom of the fifth and brings a little spark to the Blue Devils bench with a single.
Left fielder, number 1, Ryan Farmer.
Closing the book on Luke DeLongchamp. 4 innings pitched, 2 hits, no runs, therefore they weren't earned. Walked 2, struck out 5. Good night in the 4 innings for DeLongchamp as Miller sends the first pitch by Fava up and in for ball number 1. Fava swung and missed on strikes in the second inning. His lone at bat, he's 0 of 1. And he wears that one. Hit by pitch, and on down to first he goes.
Interestingly, have you noticed how much more spirit the Leominster dugout has had since DeLongchamp has been taken out of the game?
So, no, Luke is in left field, Kate.
But he's not pitching.
No, he's not pitching. We got number 27 in left field. So, in number 11, which I haven't referenced the roster yet, is now playing first base, which I believe is Ben
Cushy, still there.
Cushy.
Still at first.
Oh, still at first. Okay, so
it looks like just a left for left situation. Switch to left fielders.
Yeah, left for pitcher.
DeLongchamp out there in left. Miller now on the bump. And that brings Nick Massa to the plate with 2 runners on, nobody out here in the fifth. Great opportunity to make some noise for the Blue Devils here in the fifth. It was a fly out to center for Massa in his lone at bat back in the third. And a big timeout taken by the Knights. They'd like to talk this over a little bit.
Well, not only that, you have a situation because DeLongchamp is still in the defensive lineup. He can come back at any time.
He could. And you wouldn't expect him to pull him out of the lineup because of his bat. You know, so staying on the field, I don't think is an unusual situation here. I would be surprised if he stays out in field, and you know they're not going to let him get cold and have to come back. But not much different than a long inning, I guess.
You're on the air.
I always like this one, Bill Thomas. I always do. This
is more like it. You notice how the music is picked up though. A couple of base runners, and now we have bump-up music.
It is very interesting. I would say public address announcer and local DJ Dick Tucker wears his emotion in his music. Little sad there in the second and third inning. Picked up the pace here in the fifth. Ball misses it, a little Sweet Caroline between innings.
I think that one's pre-programmed.
Yeah, now we hit the We Like to Party there from the old Jock Jam CDs. Yes, I owned all 5 volumes back on CD. The 2-0 chopped foul by Massa. 2 balls and a strike.
I think Massa up here feels like he owes the team one. You know, he was up there, might have missed the sign, couldn't get that bunt down on that suicide squeeze, and have to see if he can help the team out, get a couple back here.
The 2-1 fouled off. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Miller here looks a little more focused since getting the visit out on the mound. Brought the whole infield in. They had a little conversation, and Miller seems a little more focused on what he is trying to accomplish.
Well, if any coach knows how to get a pitcher's attention, that's a major league pitcher.
Here comes the 2-2 in the dirt. LaFrancois got a piece of it and kept it close, played it on the bounce. Great play.
Nice job by Massa to stay away from that curveball.
And it runs the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Runners on first and second for the Blue Devils.
Crowds all of a sudden showed up.
Miller's 3-2 offering, missed.
Dugout's awake all of a sudden. Good to see.
A single, a hit by pitch, and a walk. And all of a sudden, there's Blue Devils in every direction you look out on the field right now if you are Deegan Miller.
Let's add 0 out so far. See if we can't get some damage here. Keep this rally going.
And back to the top of the order you go. Where else would you like to go than Tyler Smith? He's got 2 flyouts today, one to left field and one kind of an excuse-me flyout to the pitcher DeLongchamp at his last at-bat. Sees this one as a ball up and away. And I would say maybe a little bit, Smith, in that leadoff spot in his first 2 at-bats, maybe trying a little too hard. Jumping on first pitches, trying to jump on DeLongchamp, and maybe got himself a little bit in a bad situation.
I think you might be right. He
Yeah,
should be very choosy here with what we're seeing out of the pitcher right now. Going 2-0 in the count here. A lot of balls have been thrown already. Be choosy.
Yeah,
Walk in and run is the same as a hit.
The 2-0 offering.
And I think he might have saw all of 4 pitches his first 2 at-bats. So you're right on, Todd and Kate. Good time to show some patience here by Tyler Smith.
By my count, Bill Thomas, yeah, he swung at the very first pitch of the ball game from DeLongchamp.
I had him for 2 pitches.
And then 2 pitches in the next at-bat.
Second
so
at-bat, yeah.
about 3 pitches
He's
he
seen
saw.
more pitches in this at-bat than he's seen his first 2.
Indeed, he had doubled the pitches he's seen. Here's the 3-0. Taken all the way. Called strike, 3 balls, and a strike.
Well, I knew he was going to see a 4th pitch.
I was going to say, I
It would
definitely
add
had a
up to
feeling
more
there.
pitches.
I'm still looking to be patient here.
There's
Yes.
the 3-1, and he wears that one, and Miller
That's
has
a
hit
hot
2 batters
RBI.
and walked a batter, and it's an RBI hit by pitch for Smith.
That's his
and
second
Coach
one.
Riley is all done
All
with this.
done. He's seen enough. And let's see what happens here. He's going to his bullpen, or is he going to just...
No, bullpen, 26.
Yep, coming in off the bench.
And so that will bring Nick Army into the game. Army will warm up, and we will continue. More to come. This is RFM. As we go to the bottom of the 5th, or continue here in the bottom of the 5th, Blue Devils with a run in. They got themselves on the board. 5-1 now our score, and all warmed up is Nick Army. Army will take over on the hill. He inherits loaded bases from Deegan Miller. Miller's innings pitched really did not register, as he did not register an out in the inning. He surrendered just 1 hit, 1 run. It was earned. 3 walks in the inning, 2 of them hit by pitches, and no strikeouts in that line as well. And that brings Dutton to the plate for the Blue Devils. And he will foul that one off. Bill Thomas and Kate Robbins currently are trying to dodge the raindrops for us here as we are diamond side here on RFM with some rain entering the area. This one scoots away from Francois, moving to the plate and in safely. A great slide from Ryan Fava. Leominster's got themselves 2 here in the 5th. (5-2) Knights with the lead. Kate, I know you're trying to navigate some chaos there, but
what's going on?
I'll tell you, what an inning for the Blue Devils right now with plenty of opportunity still to go. As Dutton sends the single into center field, 1 run in, another one on the way to the plate, and yet another one comes in with Smith. Leominster closes it to a 1-run ball game with a 2 RBI single from Sean Dutton.
Well, this becomes a situation when you had DeLongchamp absolutely cruising. His pitch count was quite low. Now, all of a sudden, you have a situation where you bring in another pitcher who clearly isn't feeling it quite as much as DeLongchamp. And you have a situation where now back-to-back pitchers not able to get the job done, and now Leominster's sniffing and smelling blood in the water.
And Dutton clears the bases in that single, a 2 RBI single, to bring Leominster within run, and that brings Evan McCarthy to the plate. McCarthy singled and was stranded in the 1st. Follow that up with a fly ball to second base in the 3rd inning.
How ridiculous do I look right now?
You look like you're under the hood, quite literally. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Dutton went off with the pitch. Left Francois down to second, and sliding in safely is Dutton with the stolen base at second. Left Francois is in disbelief. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count on McCarthy at the plate. Five, 4. The Knights' lead has evaporated to just 1. Here comes the 1-1. Breaking ball, chopped ground ball towards second, scooped up with it by Bazidlo and onto first. Advancing on the fielder's choice, Dutton will move over to third as McCarthy is retired 4-3. First out of the inning recorded by the Knights, and that brings Nick Garcia to the plate. Struck out twice, both of them swinging for his 2 at-bats in the 1st and 4th, both of them against DeLongchamp. Runner on third, 1 out. Garcia at the plate. Breaking ball drifts and misses for ball number 1.
Is that Billy to my right?
It is Bill Thomas. Still currently working on the rain protection. The 1-0 up and out of play.
I can feel somebody close by.
1 ball, 1 strike goes the count. We thank you so very much for joining us here on RFM. Some technical difficulties, obviously, in the broadcast this evening led to the live broadcast having to be shuttered. Hope you're enjoying this one in delay on Facebook as well as on YouTube. The 1-1 pitch, ground ball by Garcia. On to short, pulls the first baseman off, and the tag is not in time from Cushy. Safely into first base goes Garcia. Questionable call.
I think he had him off the
Coach
bag.
Riley was not happy. He was off the bag. The sweep tag. The umpires are going to get together here. If the tag was on, the tag was in time from where we're sitting. Coach Riley right to be upset. But in the meantime, the Blue Devils have tied this game at 5.
And you know how this works, Todd. The other umpire cannot overturn the call.
Correct.
But they can talk about it. And he can get, and they did, Todd. He overturned it. He can tell the umpire what he saw. But the original umpire that made the call has to make the final decision, and he did. He called him out. I think that was the right call.
No, I absolutely think so. He provided him additional information.
Absolutely.
With that additional information, the umpire overturns his original call, and it is an out. But nonetheless, the ground out for Garcia, the most important, is the RBI. A 5-run inning for the Blue Devils. We're knotted at 5 here in the 5th. To the plate comes Arsenault, and he will foul off the first pitch he sees in the hole 0-1. What a strange,
And I missed
strange
most
game.
of it. I missed most of it. I heard the crowd cheering, but equipment is more important.
But we appreciate your assistance, Bill Thomas. Here is the 0-1 pitch. Arsenal watches that one go by, and
not that I want it to rain, but I'm not feeling drops now after all that effort, but good. Maybe I scared it away.
LeFrancois.
So I look ridiculous
No,
for no reason.
you look lovely there, Kate.
LeFrancois had a little conversation with the plate umpire, did not like the ball call. Now gets a called strike on the outside corner, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. You can't see this on our broadcast angle, but right
Okay.
now, Kate looks like a photographer from the 1800s. The 1-2 pitch, chopping ground ball, Bazidlo onto one knee, fields it up with it to Cushy at first. 4-3 the putout, inning over. Army is able to come in, but he does surrender a run. A 5-run 5th inning for the Blue Devils knots us at 5 through 5. To the top of the 6th we go here at Doyle Field. When we come back, this is RFM. To the top of the 6th we go here on RFM in delay. Facebook.com/Media Rivalry. Some technical difficulties here on game night. We're providing you this one on tape delay on Facebook and YouTube. We appreciate your patience and staying with us here on RFM, our radio broadcast with pictures, as we like to call it, for the baseball season as well. Todd Robbins, Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, and you. Great to have you along with us. Leominster's 5-run bottom of the 5th inning, all coming on 2 hits to score those 5 runs. Brings Leominster into a 5-all tie as we go to the 6th. Arsenal's first pitch, ground ball at Garcia from Jake LeFrancois. Over to first, 5-3 goes the putout, and a ground out to open the 6th inning.
More importantly, a routine play that the Blue Devils made and keeps that lead base runner off the base pass, lead off hitter.
Charge like that though by the third baseman to throw on his off foot though, still pretty impressive.
Excellent play indeed.
Garcia over there at third base, the hot corner.
That brings Colin Johnson, the right fielder, to the plate. He flew out to the shortstop and then swinging strikeout in his at-bat in the 4th. Arsenal working from the stretch, chopping ground ball inside the bag at third. It's a fair ball down the line. Johnson around first and up into second, standing. He's got himself a double.
His smash right there. Garcia had no chance. Good effort. But line hugger right down there over the bag.
Legitimate line hugger there. Bill Thomas just sneaks inside of third base and then heading toward that left field corner and around and up when Johnson down to second. So a ground out to open the inning, then gives up the double does Arsenal. We go back to the top of the order. Cody Smith, the center fielder for the Knights. 3 at-bats thus far. 0 of 3, flew out to right field, grounded out to second, flew out to the shortstop in his last at-bat in the 4th.
And I hope Cody will take a couple of pitches here, Todd, because if you don't mind, I'm going to read a little note we got from Coach Riley
Yes.
concerning Cody here, and another player who is no longer with us.
Here comes the 1-0.
And of course he
popped
pops it up.
up.
I'm still going to tell the story.
This one into the triangle, giving chase and making the catch is Massa from short in front of Dutton charging from center field. And Leominster's got themselves
So quickly, when it comes to Cody Smith, it's what we get notes from the coaches, and one thing that Coach Riley said that the team's playing for their teammate Zach Hare, who passed away from cancer on December 23rd this past year. Cody Smith is wearing number 16, and all the team is wearing number 16 on their hats, which was Zach Hare's number, who was best friends with Cody Smith. So in tribute to him, Cody's wearing his jersey, and they're going to retire number 16 at the end of the season and put it on display at the school as a tribute to their long-lost teammate, Zach Hare. Great tribute to that player who they lost, and great show of tribute within the team and within the school spirit, I think, to honor that lost player.
No question about that, Bill Thomas, as LaFrancois comes to the plate and fouls this one off. The first pitch he sees from Arsenal goes 0-1. We'll add our thoughts, prayers, and continued support to the St. Paul Knights and their entire student body. I can only imagine in my worst nightmares what it would be like to deal with as a student athlete, as a coach, as a student at the building, as a staff member. Just when you work with high school students, you're meant to mentor them and send them on to the rest of their lives. Burying them is a scary thought.
Yeah, I mean, it's, we've all, gone through it. I lost a couple of high school friends in high school to a tragic car accident, and it's never it's something that you just have to deal with life and move on, and you try to show your respect. You honor the past, the passing of the player in a great way, and I think that's what the Knights have done this season, as a tribute to Zach Hare.
Cut on and missed by LaFrancois, and that is how the sixth will come to an end. Just the lone double for Colin Johnson. He ends up stranded in the inning. Otherwise, three other batters come to the plate. They're all retired by Arsenal. Through 5.5 here from historic Doyle Field. It's St. Paul 5 and Leominster 5. More to come. This is RFM. Back to action here in the bottom of the sixth on RFM. A 5-all ball game. If you were with us in the early going, you've got to be absolutely stunned that this is the situation that Leominster and St. Paul finds themselves in. Luke DeLongchamp was cruising in this ball game, and now he will end up with a no decision in this game, as through 4, he had only allowed 2 hits. They were scattered. No runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, and then the wheels came off the bus in a 5-run 5th inning for the Blue Devils, and now we go to the bottom of the 6th. Tony Savatelli leads things off. He flew out to center in the 2nd inning, caught looking in his last at-bat in the 4th, and sees ball 1 go by. Cuts on the 1-0 pitch, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Nick Army continues on the mound for the Knights.
Pitch selection right now. Got to have a little bit better pitch selection.
The 1-1 fouled out of play. That one toward Main Street.
Army came in the 5th inning and put that fire out. Did a good job getting 3 outs there to get out of the inning.
technically North Main.
I was gonna.
As those people were all about it. Here comes the 1-2. That one misses up and away.
I wasn't gonna correct you.
I appreciate that. It'd be the first time in my life I had left it out there. Somebody was going to correct me on this broadcast.
Somebody did what?
Ooh. That's just
About what?
wretched.
Ouch.
Turn the knife.
The 2-2 popped up into the night. Drifting back after it, this is LeFrancois. He will give way to the shortstop, Rubin, who takes charge out in left field and makes the catch. Nice job by Rubin, the shortstop.
Yeah, he went a long way to make that catch over his shoulder there out by the left field foul line, but good job tracking that down. He was the only one that had a shot at that. Third baseman was all turned around. Did a good job, went a long way to track that down.
That brings Eamon Durkin, the right fielder, to the plate. Hit by a pitch and stranded at second base in his first at-bat. Singled and a run scored last inning in that 5-run fifth. And he sees ball one go by. And you could also say Durkin got things started. He opened that fifth with the single, then became the first run scored in the 5-run inning. And the Blue Devils have some life. The 1-0 swing and a miss from Durkin, as you can finally hear the dugout over on the third base side, which had been very, very quiet.
As soon
Beginning
as
of the
Longchamp
last inning.
left,
Yeah, they woke up.
They woke up.
They knew they had life right there. All it took was one base runner.
The 1-1, and the breaking ball drifts. 2 balls and a strike. Durkin settling. He's got that big pump on the front for the lefty with that front foot, and he'll foul this one off toward the taqueria.
that hit something.
It very well may have. Kind of
was the real
plinkoed.
one.
It plinkoed out of the tree.
Okay.
Kind of worked its way down. Our friends at The Price is Right.
Not a sponsor.
2 balls, 2 strikes. I didn't say The Price Right. I said The Price is Right. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Missed inside.
Inside.
LeFrancois not thrilled, still chatting, but that has been consistently called the ball inside or out all day long.
He's pretty animated back there.
Yeah, he's flustered, we'll say. The payoff pitch. Cut on and missed.
Coming right
2 outs
after.
here in the 6th.
Good job right there, working that count full, but tough heat right there with a full count.
Brings Ryan Fava to the plate. Struck out swinging in the 2nd, hit by a pitch in the 5-run 5th, and became the 2nd run scored.
Part of that rally. Took one for the team. First of 2 hit by pitches in that inning.
Indeed. And sees strike 1 go by from Nick Army, who is feeling much more settled coming in this time round. 0-1, this one drifts high 1-1.
You said he was hit by a pitch his last at bat, correct?
He was, and that was Miller who hit him with the pitch. So he did not face Army in his last at bat. Here comes the 1-1. Popped up and out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes goes the count.
That played Plinko in the tree over here and had people ducking.
Duck, dive, dodge,
Dodge,
weave.
duck, dive.
What a night diamond side here at Doyle Field. 1 ball, 2 strikes goes the count. Popped up there by Fava. Drifting after it is LeFrancois. And then Joey Rubin stabs at it, and everybody collides with the fence. And everyone is slow to get up. Coach Ed Riley and team are out of the dugout. They were starting to charge, and now they will actually head out. Yeah, it looks like LeFrancois is the one who's slow to get up.
I think he fell over awkwardly. He
kind of skidded on that, what's probably
he ended up
wet
falling
grass.
over Joey Rubin there and got turned around. Rubin, once again, I think had the best shot. Very similar play to we saw that ball he caught down at the left field foul line as a fair ball. This one about 20 more feet out there by the fence, just couldn't quite catch up to
So
it.
difficult when you have 2 infielders and your third baseman and your shortstop backpedaling.
Right,
And
no man's
then
land
you
out
have
there.
that no man's land area. Left fielders charging as well, but
And you don't know where the
situation-
left fielder is.
Yeah, you don't know where anybody is, and it's not as if it's, it's obviously priority to the left fielder, but it's in that no man's land area. So there's not a lot of communication that happens when you get into that area of the field on a foul ball. So it just gets it gets tricky, can get a little bit dangerous, but everybody's up, everybody's okay.
And I thought Rubin actually got the worst of it. He went face in to the chain link down that third base side. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count to Fava with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Breaking ball, froze him.
Once again, one of those breaking balls that a right-handed batter starts out right at him. No chance.
Army settles down, 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the 6th. We're still knotted at 5. Fun finish coming up here from Doyle Field, and more to come. To the top of the 7th we go when we come back. To the top of the 7th inning we go here at Doyle Field. We are knotted at 5. I said it in the 6th. If you thought after a 5-0 run for St. Paul's to open this ball game, through 3 innings they had a 5-0 lead. They held it up through the 4th. They held it through 4.5. To the bottom of the 5th inning, Leominster scores 5 runs in the bottom of the 5th to knot these things up and bring us to this 7th inning, Bill Thomas, tied at 5. Whoever saw this coming? Leominster was flat and seemingly flat out against Luke DeLongchamp.
And I tell you, and Brandon Arsenal has just come in and given him a tremendous lift. Pitched, I think he's into his 3rd inning now, and really has helped light the fire on this comeback.
First pitch swinging. This one from Rubin. Up with it is Savitellian. On to McCarthy at first. 4-3 goes the putout. 3-4-5 due up in the inning. You just saw 3 in Joey Rubin. He grounds out to open the 7th. This brings Luke DeLongchamp to the plate, currently in left field. Homered in his first at-bat. Singled, became a run, scored in the 3rd. First at-bat, he faced Arsenal. Chased strike 3.
It was down 0-2, worked it all the way back to a full count.
And he's now in the hole 0-1.
Arsenal settled in nicely here.
Still got to be very careful with this batter, though.
Indeed.
Don't get greedy.
DeLongchamp will get a no decision as the pitcher. Arsenault is in line to be the winning pitcher for Leominster at this current stage. The 0-1. DeLongchamp swings and misses.
So we're back to exactly the way that his last at-bat started, in the hole 0-2. Got to be very careful, though.
Indeed. Got an 0-2 pitch on DeLongchamp. Don't want to hang something here. So, Kate, do we go back to the maybe unintentional, keep it away, see if he'll chase strike 3?
Well, certainly when you're ahead in the count 0-2, you're not giving anything right there.
Yeah, that one is away. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You know, and if you recall his last time up that strikeout, he saw a steady diet of curveballs. Once he had 2 strikes on him, everything was on the outside
Down
corner.
and away.
4
Down
straight
and away.
pitches, and he ended up swinging at ball 4, I think.
I think you're right.
On that last curveball.
If you can jack a pitch down and away, you can have it. A 1-2 pitch, sawed-off chop. This one's caught in the lane, scampering out and killing it expertly is Tyler Smith, the catcher. He had to go a solid 45 feet to kill it, but he got up the line to do it.
The Grass did a good job of grabbing that, I think, too, and holding it foul. But that, one of those odd spins off the end of the bat there, you never know which way that's going to turn.
1 ball, 2 strikes, still in the count. Second opportunity for DeLongchamp coming up here with 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning.
I got to tell you, I'm pretty impressed with the umpire. He's been all over the field. The home plate umpire, that foul ball by the fence. He was all the way down there by the coach's box on third base. He was up the line here.
We call
very
that
active,
hustle.
Very active tonight.
Call
Yeah.
that
Absolutely.
hustle.
Umpire's hustling. I agree, and I love to see that.
A 1-2 pitch. Down and in. Levels the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out.
You don't think that umpires could add that much to the game, but it actually helps to set the tone, I think. When you see that kind of hustle coming from the officials, I think it just puts more emphasis on the way the players should be playing also.
It's a
and
difficult job.
When you see a lazy umpire, it's very noticeable, and sometimes it can affect the outcome of the game.
Here comes the 2-2. Popped towards center field. Dutton was playing way back. He has to charge. Nobody can get to it behind second base, and that will fall in for a single.
And we saw what happened last time the ball found the area out there.
Left fielder number 6.
That becomes tricky because, of course, if you're an outfielder at this point in time with the launch up, you have to respect his power.
And especially in center field.
You have to respect his power.
I mean, you talk about Death Valley out there. It's over 400 feet, and you got to respect the over the head. You can't let anything go over your head at this point in the game.
Dutton was basically playing the flagpole for those of you familiar
He's playing
with
the
Doyle
warning
Field.
track in is what he's doing, which is what you want to do at this point in the game, you know? You'll take that spectacular over the shoulder in the first, second, or third inning, but you'll gladly give up that single and hopefully play on at this point in a tie game.
Deegan Miller comes to the plate, caught looking in his first at-bat. Next 2 at-bats, both flyouts to center field. And this, a ground ball and a curve ball. Garcia up with it, on to second for 1, to first for 2. It's a double play! Garcia with the 5-4-3 double play to get out of the inning. Beautiful double play for Leominster. Everything coming up Blue Devils through 6.5. Knotted at 5. To the last of the 7th we go. When we come back, this is RFM. To the bottom of the 7th we go. Diamond side here at historic Doyle Field. St. Paul's and Leominster deadlocked at 5 through 6.5. Leominster looking to end it in regulation here into the bottom of the 7th. 9 top due up, so it's Massa Smith Dutton due up in the 7th for Leominster. And ball 1 misses inside. New hurler out there for St. Paul is Justin DeFalco. The 1-0 pitch, fouled out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike, Massa's counts.
4th pitcher of the night for the Knights. I see a lot of kids out of the dugout now. The umpire's not too worried about it at this point of the game. That's good to see.
Massa
everybody's on their game.
Cuts on the 1-1. 1 ball, 2 strikes goes the count. Here's DeFalco's 1-2 offering. Breaking ball floats around the back of Massa. Count evens. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Massa 0 for 1 tonight officially with a base on balls and a run scored, so we know he has a good eye.
Indeed, here's the 2-2, and he sees this one go full.
Working that full.
3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out here in the 7th inning. Leominster looking to get something started in a 5-all game.
DeFalco trying to work that curveball, but looking fastball.
3-2 pitch, swung on and missed.
That hurts a bit. If you're Leominster, deep in the count, that first at bat, not able to
Good
get
job
on
by
base.
Massa, though. The bench gets a look at the pitcher. You get him to throw some pitches. Curveball not right there during that first at bat. I think you knew he was going to come back with a full count fastball, which he did. Good pitch right there.
And the first pitch as we go back to the top of the order for Tyler Smith is a ball up and in. Smith's had a mixed bag of a day. Fly out to left, fly out to the pitcher. Hit by pitch in the 5th, became a run scored as he looks at strike 1 go by.
That was generous. That one was generous.
1 ball, 1 strike with 1 out to Tyler Smith. The 1-1 called strike 2.
I think we might have to set the camera up over the top of home plate next time, just for a one-time look at that. Or I wish we could
Talk to our
switch.
friends at the blimp. Here comes the 1-2 called
Ooh.
strike 3.
That was a quick at-bat.
An enthusiastic strike 3 called.
Okie dokie.
And all of a sudden, here in the bottom of the 7th inning, the zone's got itself a little bit bigger and a tight ball game. Brings Sean Dutton to the plate. Dutton flew out to shortstop, singled and stranded in the 3rd. Then a single in the 5th became a run scored, and he's got himself a single with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. So a little 2-out noise for the Blue Devils.
Nice job by Dutton, and he's got a stolen base here on the night after he singled in the 3rd inning. I wouldn't be at all surprised to see him have that green light on the first pitch. Coach Barnaby would love to see
I think
him.
he's far too valuable to be doing that. Far too valuable to be doing that
Kate
right
says
now.
play it
No.
conservative with 2
Get him
outs here
down
in the
there.
7th.
He's already proven he's got the stolen base mentality. I'm going on the first pitch.
But do you take the bat out of the hands of McCarthy? DeFalco thinks the Bill Thomas way. He checks him
because I
back
want to
on
win.
over to
I
first.
want to win on a base hit by McCarthy.
You could still do that
I
with
don't
him
want to
scoring
have
from
him put it.
first.
I don't want to have him put it over the fence. I want him to put it in play.
McCarthy singled in his first at bat, grounded out, flew out to second, then grounded out to second, and he's got himself a lasered line drive down the left field line, around second and on his way into 3rd. Standing in this case is Dutton.
Well, I guess he didn't have a chance to steal.
Didn't need
One
to.
pitch.
He wasn't stealing.
The 1-pitch double for Evan McCarthy.
You're right. He was not going on that pitch. I'll admit it. I think if he had seen
Absolutely
one,
not.
I still think that he would have been put in motion.
Out of your mind.
2 outs and 2 in scoring position here in the last of the 7th.
We only need 1, not 2.
Dutton finds himself at 3rd, McCarthy finds himself at 2nd, and Nick Garcia's got himself up here at home plate. The cleanup hitter, it's who you would want. 2 strikeouts swinging and a ground out to shortstop on the night.
And I'm going to guess Garcia's going to see a steady diet of fastballs here. You know, the last thing DeFalco wants to do is bounce a curveball because I don't think you'll see any hesitation if we get one in the dirt here by Dutton.
The 0-1 pitch, called strike 2 on the
Steady
outside
diet,
corner.
2 fastballs.
Goodness.
I think he's going to see a 3rd one.
He certainly hasn't proved tonight that you need to do anything other than send it right at him.
Just put bat on ball here.
2 in scoring position, 2 outs, 2 strikes, and running off the rubber was DeFalco.
That's not going to get him any friends from there.
Considering
man
what
in
one
blue?
of the other strikeouts looked like, my
maybe
heart
he
Once
had it
again,
there.
I'm going to
beating.
give some credit to the umpire, though, in not calling the catcher. Because the catcher is setting up outside, and even though he's hitting the mitt, it's not necessarily a strike.
How about the 1-2 offering to Garcia? And he
nice
holds
take.
up that one.
That was a nice take right there.
Deuces are wild here.
Indeed they are. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Last of the 7th inning with 2 on in scoring position. Standing just 90 feet away is the winning run in Sean Dutton. The 2-2 fouled to the backstop.
Steady
do it
diet
again.
of fastballs. I don't think you'll see a curveball in this at-bat. She's got to be ready for a good one.
Who would you want at the plate other than your cleanup hitter? This is what he's in the lineup for. The 2-2. Fisted foul and out of play.
Nice
was the
job
bullpen.
spoiling that.
Yeah, because I think
Nice
that was
job
going to be a
spoiling
call
that.
3rd strike. That was right there on the outside corner. It looked like reaching for it. Good job.
Garcia stands at the plate, struck out in 2 of his 3 at-bats, grounded out to the shortstop. Not the night you want. You can make it a very happy night with 1 swing. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 in scoring position. Here's DeFalco's 2-2. It's a high fly ball to right center field. Giving chase after it is Johnson. He settles under it and makes the catch. And we're going to extra innings here at Doyle Field tonight.
Bonus baseball, as you like to say.
More baseball, Bill Thomas. We love more baseball. Through regulation, through 7. We're tied at 5. Extras when we come back. This is RFM. My, what a tangled web we weave here at historic Doyle Field on a gorgeous Wednesday night for baseball here on June the 2nd, 2021. We thank you so very much for your patience in working through us with these technical difficulties this evening. Not able to offer you this live broadcast here on RFM, but we are here live and offering this to you in delay, both on Facebook and on YouTube, same day delay. We thank you so much for being a part of this one here on RFM. Todd Robbins, Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, and you. On to extra innings we go. St. Paul's opens the game with 2 runs in the first. They add 3 more in the third, and they hold a 5-0 lead through 4. And then Leominster explodes for 5 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning, Bill Thomas. And then everybody's been white-knuckle holding on to this one on through regulation in the 7th. 5-5 as we go to extra innings in the 8th.
And let's look what Brandon Arsenal has done here. The 3 innings he's pitched so far. He struggled, faced the maximum in that first inning he was in. 6 batters, but got out of a bases-loaded jam. Threw 23 pitches or thereabouts, but 2 very efficient innings thereafter, an 8 and a 10 pitch inning. And he's coming out for a 4th inning, and he looks strong getting out of that inning with a double play there, but he's thrown strikes, and he's been efficient with his pitches the last 2 innings.
To the 8th we go. Cushy, Bazidlo, Lefrancois due up in the 8th for the Knights. And a first pitch from Arsenal called ball 1. Fans appreciated the look. Here's the 1-0 from Arsenal. It's the 1-1. And let's talk about Brandon Arsenal here, who, as we said a little while ago, he's in line to potentially be the winning pitcher if he can get some run support here. Stemmed the tide, stuck his finger in the dam, pick your favorite cliche, but he has certainly slowed down the Knights' offense as this one's fouled off to the backstop.
Yeah, and I didn't think he was going to get out of that first inning that he came on there when he came on in the 5th and struggled mightily and ended up loading the bases, but got out of it. Didn't allow any runs and has just marshaled on now with 2 very efficient innings.
Written a novella over there?
Oh.
Indeed, and Arsenal with the hit by pitch as the fastball catches the shoulder of DeFalco on the 1-2 pitch. So Justin DeFalco actually in the batting spot for Cushy in that at-bat.
So that's why he's wearing number 7.
That's why he's wearing 7. They didn't change jerseys, Bill Thomas. That's DeFalco, the current pitcher.
Two of you are swift.
Gets hit by pitch, and he's on his way down to first. Joey Bazidlo up here. Lefrancois, the catcher, on deck nearby.
It's nearly my bedtime.
Leading
I'm just
off
saying.
at first is DeFalco. Bazidlo at the plate, and Arsenal will check things over at first base as McCarthy will apply the tag. Arsenal stares in a 5-all game. Nobody out here in the top of the 8th inning. His first offering to Bazidlo. Showed bunt, pulled it back, steal down at second, and sliding in safely is DeFalco. And the Knights bench is fired up. They've got a runner in scoring position here in the 8th.
There's your steal, Bill Thomas.
I was about to ask you, Kate, but they didn't give me time to ask from some strategy playing there, but I had him stealing too.
Of course you did.
If you're going to give up and out with a bunt, you might as well try stealing.
That was a ball on that pitch, by the way.
Indeed it was. 1-0 the count to Bazidlo. Runner in scoring position here. You find a gap, and you've got the lead in the ball game.
Now you got to watch out for that curveball in the dirt. Now it kind of takes that away from Arsenal.
And Smith has done a dynamite job tonight. Arsenal kind of pivots and turns back to send DeFalco back to second.
Interesting thing, nobody's holding him on second.
I agree.
So
And they got to watch out because he'll
why-
take third.
Why are we diving
I
back?
think they
I
heard
would
us.
say it's the gaps.
Yeah.
As you would see Savatelli now drift over from second to hold DeFalco. But they're trying to hold the gaps here
I
as
agree.
that 5-6 hole has been
Oh,
a
yeah.
problem.
You got to make some glove noise, though.
The 1-0 pitch missed. Stealing on the play. Down to third. And in time for the out. Tyler Smith guns down DeFalco. And Coach Ed Riley not happy with DeFalco on the play.
I think he
Someone
did that
missed
on
the
his
sign.
own. I think he went on his own. You know, the bunt was on, but I don't think it was a straight steal. He looked at it as a straight steal. Didn't wait for the bunt action. And cost himself an out right there. Took himself out of scoring position with no outs. Not a good heads-up play right there.
And a 2-0 count.
What do you got to say about that strategy, Kate?
2-5 on the putout.
I think you're absolutely right. He's supposed to wait for that ball to be put down.
Broke way too soon. But he
Yep.
broke on that when he stole second. He broke on what looked like a bunt attempt,
Coach
too. He
Riley
wasn't
is
waiting.
still beside himself
he
in the
can't
coach's
believe it.
box.
When you're
As
talking
he should
yourself
be.
down at third, that's not good.
And
Well, he should be.
losing the
I was
conversation
going
at
to
the
say,
moment.
and I don't blame him. Here's
No.
the 2-1 pitch. Chopped ground ball from Bazidlo. Garcia cuts off the shortstop.
That's
and
heartbreaker.
onto first in time. 5-3 goes the putout.
Well, and the thing is, when you're a coach, when you've had a situation where you're so incredibly effective behind your ace, and then things start to falter, and then, a mental mistake is one of those ones that it's, I don't want to say unforgivable. Anything's, forgivable when you're playing a game, but when you're in that situation where you know how important you are and how precious you are as a base runner in this situation, you're in extra innings.
And Arsenal hits Jake Lefrancois. Didn't even have enough time to tell you that he had been retired 3 at-bats. He was 0 of 3. Flew out to center.
You are a wealth of knowledge.
Swinging
tonight.
strikeout, ground out to third in his previous at-bat.
It's the
Now
book.
hit by a pitch.
It's the book, Kate. It's the book.
Complimenting the savant over here.
And Coach Ed Vols will head out of the dugout on behalf of head coach Rich Barnaby to talk things over with Arsenal and the infield. 2 outs here in the top of the 8th, tied at 5. Runner on over at first base is Lefrancois. You can't say that he doesn't matter, as he does very much matter, Bill Thomas, but you've got the 9-hole hitter in front of you in Colin Johnson, who's going to be coming to the plate. Or check it, you're going to
Pinch
have the
hitter.
pinch hitter.
We got number
Looks like 16.
19.
No,
Nope.
but he's on
He's
deck.
already at the
Oh,
plate.
he was on deck. Excuse me. He was already at the plate. So 16
Colin
is Smith
Johnson's
back to
up
the
at
top of
plate.
the order.
So
it is Johnson.
And you got your number 9 hitter. I think once again you put your runner in motion here, and you try to make
Billy's
something
having everybody
happen.
run.
Hey, yeah, I mean,
Billy's going aggressive.
let's
2
see-
outs.
let's see
He's
what-
hitting R1 all the way on the old PlayStation there.
But I
Ball
mean,
strike.
with your number 9 hitter, I think you got to make something happen right here. To be honest with you.
So
with
Johnson,
2 outs in a tie ball game in extras, Bill Thomas.
Oh, yeah.
Johnson doubled
Rock
in his
on.
last at bat. Previously, he had flown out to short and struck out swinging, as Arsenal will check back on over to first. In this case, Lefrancois.
And I think Coach Riley feels a little bit burned by that last
He
one.
looks like he's
He
waiting
hasn't
for
given
a
a
bus
sign.
over
He
there. I
hasn't
know it.
Given a sign since.
The 0-1, this is a bunt straight back at Arsenal. Scoops it up, diving into first, not in time. McCarthy makes the stretch. 1-3 goes the putout, and that ends the 8th. So a little bit of noise for the Knights in the top of the 8th. Couple of hit-by pitches, a caught stealing in at third, takes out the runner DeFalco, and through 7.5, we're still tied at 5. To the bottom of the 8th we go. Blue Devils get their first at bat in extras. When we come back, this is RFM. What a night here on Rivalry Family Media as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Justin DeFalco continues on the rubber for St. Paul. For Leominster, he will face here in the 8th 5, 6, 7. Arsenal, Savatelli, Durkin due up in the inning for the Blue Devils. Good spot in the order, maybe to get something started here. The bottom half of the order, or the bottom third of the order really, got things going in that 5-run 5th. So Leominster certainly can produce in the bottom of the order, Bill Thomas.
And I wonder if that mental mistake on the base pass is going to affect DeFalco now on the mound, one way or the other. He might try to put too much on his shoulders now and lose his concentration. We'll have to see how that transitions to the having to play defense and having to go out there and pitch after making that mental mistake, costing himself an opportunity to score a run there in the top of the 8th.
Brandon Arsenal leads things off for Leominster here in the 8th. First pitch swinging, fouled up and out of play. He's in the hole 0-1. Walked and caught stealing in the 2nd. Caught looking in the 4th. Grounded out to second base in his last at bat in the 5th. And he watches a ball go by inside. Count even, 1 ball, 1 strike.
We go back to that mental mistake I think we're all giving DeFalco credit for, but let's give Tyler Smith just an unbelievable credit there for that great throw that he made down there on the money, on the glove down there to complete that put out there for that stolen base attempt at third base.
1-1 tipped into the mitt. 1 ball, 2 strikes goes the count. The 1-2 is low. And 2 balls and 2 strikes. No, Bill Thomas, I agree with you 100%.
And we kind of overlooked that because we were so wrapped up in DeFalco making the mistake. But make no mistake about it, Tyler Smith made a tremendous throw down there to complete that play.
Yes.
Because if that ball goes in left field, DeFalco's thinking all the way he made the right play by drawing a bad throw.
A 2-2, and Arsenal laces it into shallow left. He's got a base hit to open the 8th.
I think we're going to see some manufacturing going on here.
You think so?
Leominster is the home to a career technical and education and innovation program with advanced manufacturing game.
You're so good. You're so good to me.
So in this case, here comes Tony Savatelli. Not an advanced
I think Kate wants to see some old-fashioned manufacturing, nothing advanced right here.
That's right.
But
5-all ball game. Savatelli, first pitch swinging, high fly ball, deep down the left field line, giving chase over there was DeLongchamp, and it's out of play for a very, very loud strike 1.
Loud and long. I don't know if it had home run distance, but it was going to be close. And I think if it was at the foul, it could have been fence distance.
It left everybody in this ballpark, and nobody has gone anywhere.
Oh, no.
Watching this one just drift into the night. It's an 0-1 count to Savatelli. Flew out to center, caught looking, flew out to short in his previous at-bats. And a not so beautiful float on over to first from DeFalco, and an enthusiastic back comes out of the Blue Devil dugout.
I like that.
I like the
Hey, the
communication.
bench is into it now, though.
No question. Here comes the 0-1. Breaking ball freezes Savatelli for strike number 2. 0-2 goes the count. Nobody out here in the 8th. Arsenault stands down over at first. The 0-2 pitch. Ball off the corner, missed.
Quite the senior night, huh? My word.
What a senior night here.
Holy
Night to
moly.
remember.
Yeah, no question about it. You want that story to really end positive, as this one will drift up and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. You want it to be, remember on senior night when we were down 5-0, came back with a 5-run 5th and won in the 8th? That's the way
Both
you want the
sides
story
want
to
that
go.
right
Oh,
now.
absolutely. Except that for St. Paul, we started with 5 runs and then surrendered 5 runs and needed to desperately get out of here with a run in the now 9th would be their situation if they could push it that far. DeFalco's 2-2 breaking ball. Missed the outside corner low.
That was a teaser. Works the count full, though. Nice at-bat right here by
St. John's
Savatelli.
catcher once again, not too thrilled.
Freudian slip. St.
St.
Paul's.
John's.
St. John's.
St. John's behind us. St.
Sorry.
That's
Paul's
why
on
you
the
notice
field.
I've been
3-2 pitch laced foul outside of third.
You notice I've been sticking with the Knights.
Yeah,
I didn't want to get the,
Todd even did the
holy
diocesan.
name, St. John's,
I was proud of you.
diocesan.
One time, right off the top, diocesan.
Diocesan.
Nailed it.
Good job.
Never say it again.
We had some discussion about that, and I figured I'd stick with the Knights.
I listened to today, during my prep period today, as I was getting ready for this broadcast.
This riveting television.
I listened to a French woman explain how to say Le Francois properly. 3-2 pitches. This one popped outside. It looked like I was taking, some kind
Remedial
of
French.
remedial French, trying to understand the
Oui.
pronunciation.
No.
But Le Francois, we had that. You had 2 Le
Désolé,
Francois.
je n'ai pas les
You want to get
français.
that right? Yes, exactly. I'm sorry, I speak very much French, as it
Very
turns
much
out.
French.
And then I had myself getting coached up on how to say diocesan from the online speech language coach as Savatelli pops this 3-2 offering out of play just enough. Everybody gave chase on that one.
Everybody.
I learned the majority of my French from the Three Stooges. Parlez-vous
did.
français? Oui, oui, monsieur. Beyond that, I'm lost.
You drank my water.
3.
Well,
been-
we're in
it's been
extra
quite a
innings,
night
Kate.
here.
What would you expect?
The payoff pitch once again. Savatelli line drive. It is in. It's a fair ball. Yes, it is. Right on the chalk. Oh, my.
You talk about a great at-bat. That was a 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got him for at least 8 pitches there, if not 9. Couple of foul balls. Nice job right there. And looks like we're going to have a little timeout.
Great
with
play
maybe
by
a pitching change.
DeLongchamp. He came up with it quick there, Bill
Oh, he
Thomas.
did.
Froze everybody in place, so it's just station to station. Savatelli laces the single to left. He's now going to be at first. Arsenault is at second. And Coach Ed Riley of the Knights, he's at the mound.
I hope he's not coming in.
He was doing some pointing. I thought he was going to do some position changes here, starting with the mound, but he's just having an infield conference about how to play this.
He's giving
And now this is,
instruction.
well, I'm sure they're talking about what they want to do in a bunt. Do they want to try to get the lead runner at third? How do they want to rotate here for the defense? You got to put the ball towards third base here. You got to make the third baseman handle this bunt if that's going to be the strategy play. And I know, Kate, you want to see him manufacture something. I hope Dirk can get the bunt down for your sake.
Senior.
Eamon Durkin on his way to Worcester State. Hit by a pitch, stranded at second in his first at-bat. Single and a run scored in the 5th. Struck out swinging in the 6th. Runners on first and
Got
second.
bunt rate. He
So
was ready.
that was exactly
Yeah,
what
that was a
Coach,
giveaway.
But
Yeah.
that's exactly what Coach was
Absolutely.
talking to them
And he
about.
wanted to see, Coach Riley wanted them to do that.
Correct.
Turn, spin, see what Leominster was going to do. You saw the show of the bunt. Runners held. Now they show bunt again. Pushed that one foul. And
Get the bunt.
yeah, I was going to
Well,
say
he
so
didn't
many.
pop it up, Kate, but he's trying to directionalize it down third base. He's trying to do the right thing. That's not the easiest thing to do.
Where Max Lefrancois is playing even with the bag down at third.
No matter what happens here, you got to make the third baseman come in. You actually want to bunt this a little harder than normal.
The 0-1
Oh,
got
right
the
at
bunt
the pitcher.
down right at the pitcher.
Oh, and he fumbled it.
And everybody's safe It's an E1 on the bunt, successfully down for Durkin, and everybody moves 90 feet.
What happens when you get it down, Kate?
Things happen.
Things happen. That's right. Things
And
happen.
the hero of not too long ago, Ryan Fava, coming up to bat. Could he be the hero again for Leominster in a week's time?
Yeah, that's got to be the great
It's a
question.
Cinderella story.
It's entirely possible.
Bases are juiced, too. No outs.
No outs on top of it.
Fava struck out swinging in the second, hit by a pitch, became a run scored in that 5-run fifth, caught looking in the sixth. First pitch, fouled it straight to the backstop.
The nice thing here, though, for the Blue Devils, they have 3 bites at this apple. So if you're a base runner, you need to make sure that you are making excellent decisions, because it's not as if 1 out is going to make or break here.
The 0-1 pitch from DeFalco floats. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Surprised he came in with a curveball there. I mean, you can't go with your good curve here because you don't want to bounce it, which is really what you need.
This doesn't feel like a
You
regular
leave one
season
hanging up
game.
high. All you got to do is put it in play.
Atmosphere. The 1-1 ground ball back up the middle, cut off onto home, stepping over it. They say he's safe. They
came
say
off the
he's
plate.
safe. He pulled off the plate. Did LeFrancois the RBI ground ball in that case for Fava. And amazingly, Arsenault steps over the top of the catcher LeFrancois and gets home plate. The celebration for the Blue Devils. Oh my, what a conclusion to this one. LeFrancois is slow to get up. He may have caught a cleat in the head as Arsenault was stepping over top of him. The throw from the shortstop, Rubin, pulled him off the bag and safely into home as Arsenault. The Blue Devils celebrate a 6-5 comeback victory in extra innings.
And that's what happened. You put the ball in play. You know, I thought the pitcher had a chance to make a stab at that, but he let it go over his head. But nice job there. But just pulled the catcher off the plate. There was going to be a close play, but there was no tag involved. It was just all you need to do is throw a strike to the catcher, a little offline. The catcher had to dive for it, pulled his foot off the plate, allowed the run to score.
Fava 2 times in 1 week, the hero.
Indeed, he
One
Once
via
again,
the
you
home
put-
run and
you
one
put the ball
via,
in play, Kate.
one via that.
Put the ball in play, and good things happen.
What a night here at historic Doyle Field. Leominster is a 6-5 winner on senior night. And the senior, Ryan Fava, comes through with the little flare up the middle, fielded on the ground ball, and then able to advance and score on the play. Stepping over the top of the catcher is Brandon Arsenault, who is the winning pitcher tonight, Bill Thomas, scoring the winning run.
And deservingly so. I mean, he struggled that first inning. He came in a tough 23 pitches, but he didn't give up a run. But an 8, a 10, and an 8-pitch inning, helped out by a great round-the-horn double play. Just came in and held the Knights at bay, and Leominster found a way to claw back into this game and come out the victor here in extra innings.
And I will throw...
And you're right, he scores the winning run on top of it.
And in those situations, you know, we don't spend enough time crediting the umpire. I'll give a lot of credit to that plate
on it.
umpire, staying on the play, not getting drawn into the forced play at home, giving a second to think about all the things that he saw, took a moment, and then called the runner safe.
And I think he had it right. He was on top of it. We'll get it. We had a great camera view here. We get a chance to look at it when we get home. We'll get it up on Facebook. But I'm telling you, I think the right call was made, and Blue Devils come out victorious.
And we will get a look at this one as well. Leominster, a 6-5 winner on senior night here at historic Doyle Field.
Billy, I have bad news.
What?
Although we had an angle, I should have kept it on the close-up for the play at the plate. I
Oh,
went
you
to
switched
the wide
it to the
angle.
wide angle.
And as soon as I saw him turn and underhand, I'm like, oh no! So we
Well, we
have
saw
a
it.
view.
We'll
but,
look at it. We'll look at
We'll have an opportunity to process.
it. It doesn't
that
go
one
into the
out.
archives.
Whoopsie-daisy.
Indeed it does not.
Whoops,
We're going to
daisy.
recap it all. We're literally going to relive it all straight out of
Oh,
this
good.
scorebook when we continue on our post-game extra here on senior night. We're going to do the calculations. We'll take a break. More to come. Stay with us on this tape-delayed coverage. Thank you so much for your patience this evening. The technical difficulties prevented the ability to bring it to you live, but we're glad we could bring it to you on Facebook and YouTube in delay on the same day. Thank you so much for your patience and being with us on this one. What a night. Leominster with the comeback win, 6-5 in 8 innings. Post-game extras next. This is RFM. As we continue on here on Rivalry Family Media, post-game extra coming up. Stand by. Leominster High School head coach Rich Barnaby joins us in a moment. Continue with us right here on RFM. Post-game extra here on Rivalry Family Media. Leominster, a 6-5 winner in comeback fashion in extra innings. Todd Robbins, Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, and you. And now joined here by Leominster High School head coach Rich Barnaby. Coach, we were just talking about it before we came on. You go down 5 runs early on in this ball game, and you knew St. Paul was capable of it. They posted 7 runs against the tough Neshoba team in the first inning yesterday. So certainly not like something you were unexpecting that they would come out. You'd beat them 7-1 the last time you'd played them. I mean, all of the things building up to this moment. So they come out hard and fast. You go down 5-0. What's the mood over on the bench at that point in time?
I think it's been the same mood all year. We compete on every pitch, and we knew this was going to be a big-time game against a big-time opponent. But 3 times in the past week, we've been down in the 5th inning. We've come back and won. So we know, like, we have that tool in our back pocket. Like, late games, let's get to a bullpen. And our lineup is just, we're relentless. It's tough 1 through 9 to get us all out. So we knew if we can get to the bullpen, DeLongchamp's tough. Like, he's one of the best pitchers in Central Mass. He's actually in Massachusetts. He's one of the best pitchers in the state. So he's tough. We knew if we can get to the bullpen, we'd have a shot.
And you got to the bullpen down 5-0. And in that case, you start to try to work your way back. You made some contact through that point. Defensively, I'll start there before we get to the 5-run in the 5th inning for you guys. Let's start first with the performance of Brandon Arsenault, who comes in relief. Defensively, you're a little bit on the fence at that point in time, down 5-0. He comes in and seemingly all of a sudden there's like this big deep breath and he slows everything down for everyone on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, he's been a stud for us all year. And we did. We flinched in those middle innings. We, for the first time all year, or maybe since the Neshoba game, we played a little scared. And I brought him in and I said, I don't care if you make mistakes. I don't care if we make errors. I don't care if we strike out, but we can't play scared. Like, go make a play. And Brandon comes in, he's been our number 2, but with the playoffs starting Monday, we say, you know what, we don't want anyone going 7 innings because we want our full, bullpen. We want every pitcher available on Monday for the playoffs. So we knew if we can get to like the 5th inning, we can put Brandon in, and he's going to win a game for us if we give him an opportunity.
And he quite literally won the game for you. We'll get to that in a moment as well. But let's talk about that 5-run 5th inning. Talk about having all your fun seemingly in one inning. You started off with a single in the inning, then you get a hit by pitch, then a walk, then another hit by pitch. In there, a single helps out and puts 5 runs on the board. All of a sudden, all that fun just comes in a giant explosion.
Yeah, we compete every single at bat. I mean, I think we probably lead the world in hit by pitches. Like, that ball comes in, we just don't get out of the way. We crowd the plate, and we just, we have ice packs, we got whatever we need, and we just put the pressure on teams. In that 5th inning, we know we just compete one pitch at a time. They got to get us out. And it was tough for them to get us out that inning. We had one of those innings with them where they put up a crooked number, and we got it back with 5-run inning.
5-5 through regulation. We go to the 8th. Top of the inning, Arsenault closes the door. Although he made it a little exciting, hitting a couple of players, getting them on base, it leads to an unsettled situation, but able to get out of the inning. So then we go to the bottom half of the 8th. Arsenault gets the single to open up the inning. Follow that up then with another single from Savatelli. Then Durkin gets on with what was scored in error in that one with, of course, the pitcher bobbling the ball. Now you got bases loaded, nobody out, and you get Fava that produces the ground ball up the middle, and Arsenault comes home and somehow, not a particularly tall guy, steps over the catcher and gets himself into home plate. What a way to win.
Yeah, and unsung play was Nick Massa in the top of the inning when they try to steal third. We're running a bunt coverage, so we're charging the third baseman. The shortstop's coming over. He catches that ball on the run, behinds him, puts a tag down. Nick Massa's a freshman. We're playing St. Paul's in the 8th inning. He looks that ball and puts down a good tag. If he drops that ball, they're going to score that inning. So that was a huge play by the freshman. Brandon Arsenault, 2 strikes. Gets a hit. Tony Savatelli, 2 strikes, gets a hit. We practice our 2-strike approaches all the time. We choke up, we get on the plate, and we just don't let the guy beat you. Get a barrel on it, do whatever you have to do, just don't strike out. And those are 2 perfect at-bats. We almost get more confidence when we have 2 strikes.
Of course, I don't know if that's good for you, but standing out there, but we'll go with it. Let's talk a little bit about this senior class. You had 8 seniors, certainly have done a lot for this program. The senior leadership is evident in the type of program you built, and of course, in continuing a storied Blue Devil baseball program. Talk about what this group of 8 seniors has meant to the program's history.
Yeah, I mean, we're now, I don't even know what our record is, maybe 11-1, 12-1.
12-1 after tonight, Coach.
And I've had more talented teams, but I've never had a team with senior leadership like this. Senior leadership is absolutely carrying us. Every practice is the most important practice of the year. They never show up with like, hey, let's take it easy today. Every practice is the most important practice. We say every day is opening day because they just show up with opening day like excitement. And, seniors could go, they're out of school. They could be at the beach. They could be at cookouts. They could be working, making money. Instead, they're with me 3 hours a day, like paying the price. And I've never had senior leadership like this, and that's the difference. They deserve all the credit.
No question about that, Coach. You go into next week, you alluded to it, this new Central Mass tournament, which, we would have called the district tournament under a previous organization, but they're piloting this new, what essentially amounts to a collegiate form of a conference tournament, but it's going to be a league or a regional tournament of some sort or another. What's your expectation? We were talking, St. John's was here this evening. We were chatting with them, of course, played a lot of their year in sports in Eastern Mass. They were saying they're part of the Central Mass tournament as well. Going to be a lot of fun. There's a lot of great baseball still yet to be played.
It's more baseball. So Coach Palazzi told me we're playing an extra tournament. I said, good, more baseball. I don't care. Like, go to July, go to August. I don't need more money. Like, we just want to play. We didn't get to play for 700 days, so we're just like caged animals out there. We want to play as much baseball as possible, and we're just going to compete one inning at a time. We're going to start Monday. Our goal is to win. Our goal is to win the Central Mass tournament, win the MIAA tournament, win another state title, and I think that's the goal. That's why the seniors are here instead of at barbecues or working and stuff. That's why they're pushing the younger kids, and that's why they're having so much fun.
You alluded to it. We talked about it on the broadcast, and I'll leave you with this thought. That is, of course, this week can be so difficult as a spring coach. Kate certainly talks about it. This week when you have all of the senior events that are going on, plus you're trying to wrap up your regular season. Under a normal year, this would usually be around district time, so it's usually that first round of the playoffs is going on this week. That focus from your seniors, if they're willing to be here, it's pretty easy for everybody else to line up behind them.
Right. Coach Johnson used to say senior teams never win, but in 2014 we had a senior team, we won it, so that's out the window. Trust me, these guys, they would do batting practice during graduation. They want to be here. I just can't underestimate. This is their first love. They get so much taken away from them with the pandemic. Maybe that's why the seniors are so committed, because they had it taken away. It's their first love. So much was different last year, and now they're having fun. They're playing with the kids that have been playing with us since T-ball. They don't want this to end. And those are the teams that go until July, the teams that don't want this to end and just fight for each other.
Leominster High School head coach Rich Barnaby, thank you so much for joining us. It's been fantastic getting a chance to cover you guys throughout the year. Hopefully get a chance to see you a little bit more next week.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate
All right, Coach.
Thank
Thanks,
you
Todd.
so much. We continue on post-game extra here on Rivalry Family Media. Bill Thomas and Kate Robbins rejoin me in a couple of moments. We'll recap this one and then send you off to the good night here on RFM. Stay with us. Leominster, a 6-5 winner in extras. Post-game extra rolls on here on Rivalry Family Media. Once again, thank you so very much for your patience and sticking with us here on this one in delay. But trust me, it's worth every minute of it. You can go back and back and back and watch it over and over and over again right here on Facebook as well as on YouTube. tinyurl.com/media rivalry or youtube.com, search Rivalry Family Media, facebook.com/media rivalry for our premiere coverage of this one in delay. Again, we apologize for those live technical difficulties, but trust me, the game is worth it to watch it in delay. Post-game extra rolls on. Todd Robbins, Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, and you as we continue on. Billy, I couldn't let us go off the air tonight without getting you to have your final opportunity to chip in on this one in what has been an absolutely incredible night. And you heard heard from Leominster head coach Rich Barnaby, I mean, this is how this team seems to play. They get behind, but they are undeterred when they fall behind.
Yeah, and I didn't hear much of Coach's interview. I was walking around, a great celebratory party going on with senior night. Pizza, enjoying a nice piece of chocolate cake. Everybody's in a great mood. Yeah, I'm sure he gave out kudos where they belong. The bottom of his order really woke things up tonight. You look who scored the runs. You look who manufactured the game-winning run. 7, 8, and 9 were responsible for scoring 3 runs in that 5-run inning. And then, you look at 4, 5, 6, and 7. 5, 6, 7, and 8 come up with that RBI there to win the game. And just a tremendous effort from the top of the lineup to the bottom. But, it goes without saying, Brandon Arsenal doesn't come in and give him, them 4 strong innings right there. We're talking about a different ball game probably. And he really set the tone when he shut the Knights down offensively. He wiggled out of that bases-loaded jam when he came in the 5th inning, but found his way and had 3 really efficient innings, the 6th, 7th, and 8th. I had him for 10. I had him for 8 pitches, 10 pitches. Of course, he got out of that 7th inning with a great double play. And then I had him for 8 pitches in the 8th inning. And he gets credit for the win, deservedly so. And on top of it, he scores the game-winning run. I mean, great way to cap off his night here and helping the seniors all go home winners.
And that is absolutely true, Bill Thomas. Let's recap his pitching line tonight. For Arsenal, 4 innings pitched, allowed 3 hits. They were scattered. No runs. None of them were earned. 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. That's the line for Arsenal. But most importantly, he slowed the game down. It seemed like this game was going very, very, very fast for Leominster, and it was evaporating very, very, very quickly as things progressed.
And what he did was he created some efficient innings on defense, and it keeps things active. When you're on and off the field, your defense is making plays behind you, and you're back in the dugout, and you're cheering, and then you get involved in a rally, and things just snowballed nicely for the Blue Devils. But, once again, you look at Arsenal's breakdown pitching-wise. He threw 23 pitches or thereabouts in his first inning, the 5th inning. Got out of that bases-loaded jam. But the next 3 innings total, about 26 pitches over the course of the next 3 innings. He can't get much more efficient than that. And Coach Barnaby showed good faith in him, keeping him on the mound out there as he continued to show efficiency into the latter part of his stint, and he was rewarded with a win. On top of it, he wins the game, not himself, but, when you score, you get credit for the win, you score the game-winning run.
How can you do much better?
And it caps off.
I would say it is the
I could talk about him for another hour, but I know we got places to go and things to do.
Indeed. Let's go back over to the other side of the scorecard, talk about St. Paul and their starter tonight, Luke DeLongchamp, who will ultimately get the no decision, throws 4 incredible innings. Kate Robbins said it. He cruised through those 4 innings. 2 hits, didn't allow a run, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. DeLongchamp on his way to Boston College. Coach Ed Riley expects he will get drafted by a Major League Baseball team in the month of July. That says a whole lot about his upside and potential and the type of pitcher he is. Coach Barnaby called him the best pitcher in Massachusetts, period, hands down.
That says a lot when we're talking Eastern Mass, where all the premier players come out of.
At least that's what they say.
It seems like.
It's certainly, you cannot say enough about Luke DeLongchamp and what he ultimately did in this ball game tonight. And, of course, you got to imagine, coaches manage numbers. That's such an important part of this game right now, is managing the numbers, being able to move them back and forth and having enough pitchers available. Coach said it. He needed everybody available for next week.
Well,
and so he couldn't risk anybody going the full game. So, Leominster went by committee. Coach Riley had to be thinking the same thing.
And both teams are looking forward to the playoffs. There's a couple of different rounds of playoffs this year that I believe both teams. I know Leominster's qualified for both of them. I believe the Knights are too. I'm not sure what their
8-5 record should get them in, I would say.
Their pod is looking at, but they're going to have the pod playoffs and, like you say, districts kind of, or a state type tournament.
Think of it like a college conference tournament. It's on the way going into a state tournament.
We'll be playing baseball the 4th of July probably when it comes around to deciding who the state champ's going to be. But, I think that both teams did what they had to do. But you got to feel for Luke DeLongchamp. Pitched 4 very efficient innings, and he swapped his way out to left field to keep his bat in the lineup, and he must have been just chewing his nails down to the fingers, down to the bone there, and watching his lead slip away, watching that nice 4 innings that he put together. And it's not really about stats. I think he just obviously wants to see the team to win. Probably wished that maybe he could have came back in and saved his own ball game because he was still in the field. Coach Riley's not going to play that game. He knows how pitches are, and he's protecting his players, rightfully so, I think, and that's why we only saw him out there for 4 innings, even though he was in the midst of a shutout, and things just didn't turn out after he came out of the game. But he's got a great future ahead of him, and I think we're going to hear a lot about him in the coming years, and up to and maybe including he might get a chance to pitch at Fenway Park someday, either as a visiting or, who knows, maybe a hometown hero.
No question about that. What a night for Luke DeLongchamp, and again, all for naught. In a 5-run first 4 innings, he cruised, getting 5 runs of support. He himself provided 3 of those 5 runs, a home run, which resulted in 2 RBIs in the first inning for the 2-0 lead, and then a single for 2 more. So 4 of the 5 runs at that point come off the bat of DeLongchamp on top of it, and then he was the 5th run scored on a subsequent single in that 3rd inning. And then they don't score again. I mean, if you are on the St. Paul side, you didn't score after the 3rd inning.
Right, 5 very efficient innings by Brandon Arsenal, and let's give some credit to Ryan Gardner, who struggled in the 3rd inning, giving up 3 runs, but came back with a very efficient 4th inning, a 1-2-3 inning. He's not going to show up in the box score, but in his middle inning pitch, but he did help stem the tide there and set the table for when Arsenal came in and pitched 4 very efficient innings after that. So. We got to give some credit to Brandon Gardner, to Ryan Gardner. I'm sorry, when he struggled a little bit in the 1st inning, but that he pitched, but he did find his way and found a way to help stem the tide there, and kind of led that charge back, I think, by that shutdown 4th inning.
And no question about that. It certainly did help to stick the finger in the dam, so to speak.
And let me just one more comment about Luke DeLongchamp. Everything he did tonight, he goes 3 for 4. I don't know if I'm sure you threw that out there too, Todd, but 3 for 4, 3 RBIs, 4 shutout innings on the mound. He scores 2 runs on top of it. He showed up in every stat category you could, except he doesn't get credit for the win, which was he was in line for. He would have filled every category tonight if the Knights had found some way to hold on.
And that's the unfortunate notes for this one. But Leominster, a big win tonight. 6-5 win in 8 innings on senior night here at historic Doyle Field. And although in delay, it has been fantastic to be here with you and bring it all to you here on Rivalry Family Media. Again, Facebook.com/Media Rivalry for our premier delay broadcast, and then the game available same-day delay out there on YouTube, youtube.com, search Rivalry Family Media for that one as well. This will conclude our regular season coverage from Leominster High School athletics and Central Massachusetts athletics broadly, but we have got plans galore as we move our way into the playoffs next week with the Central Mass tournament coming up, and then follow beyond that the state tournament as well. Stay tuned here to Rivalry Family Media. Check us out on Twitter for the latest scheduling information at Media Rivalry on Twitter for all of that information. Leominster, a 6-5 winner in 8 innings tonight. They improved their record to 12-1 overall. St. Paul, the hard luck loser, they fall to 8-5 at the conclusion of this regular season. Once again, we thank you so very much for joining us. For Bill Thomas and Kate Robbins, I am Todd Robbins saying thank you so very much for joining us. And until the postseason, for now we say, so long, everybody.